Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was running a little bit late. So, for those of you just tuning in, we are at the. This is the pre-show, so we got another 5 minutes before the actual show starts. This is kind of where we get an opportunity to let people come in and get comfortable and whatnot. So, welcome one and all. You see the Funkatopia shirts are here.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Funkatopia.
Yeah, the shirts are ready. They are actually working. I don't know why I'm talking to the mic because that's only this camera mic that's up right now. Yeah, so I'm running extremely late today. Obviously, I normally like to start this at 15 minutes before, but we're only starting 5 minutes before. And it's funny because we actually have a bunch of news and stuff to talk about. So hopefully. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear anything. I just got all quiet. What?
Weird.
All I could think was everything blew up.
Some weird thing. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, man. Cammy, hello. Donna, hello. Carrie, hello. Jeremy, hello. Michelle, hello. Laura, hello.
Donna, Cammy,
Andre,
Brian.
what's going on? Sandra, hello. Donna, hello.
Susie.
Crown 7 in the house. Hey. All right, yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you click on follow and like and whatever. Make sure that you follow us because it's more effective that way. But we got some really cool things to talk about tonight. We're going to be starting the show here in about 4 minutes, right after Shockadelica is over. You guys can't hear Shockadelica, but
Shockadelica.
If you're listening on the Funkatopia, the Funkatopia app, Funked Up, then Shockadelica is playing right now. And then as soon as that's over, we're going to break into the show. And tonight we have Martin Kember in the house, which is going to be awesome. And lots of great news. Lots of great news to talk about today. I got 3 pretty sizable pieces of information. And we are going to be, yes, Andre, we're going to be talking about an immersive experience. That's one of the things that's on the news. A new immersive experience with Prince is going to be released. That literally they just dropped the press release on like 2 hours ago. But hey, you're on Funkatopia, so we kind of know a little bit of everything. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about everything. We're going to be talking with Martin. I told him he could hang out till 8:15 and then come in at that point in time. But we did have some news that we wanted to talk about up front. As you can see, the Funkatopia. It's funkier than a broccoli riding a carrot down a celery stick. Shirts are available on Bonfire. Yeah, man, it's great. So you can actually pick them up. I actually got it, and I actually made sure I got the green sleeves with it. And we actually have some really, really great, cool designs that are going to be that even beyond this.
That's some good shirt.
Pretty awesome. So.
Hey, you put that shirt on everything.
Yes. Rob will not be with us tonight. Rob Rhythm will not be with us tonight. Just personal stuff that's going on. We all know what's going on, but you don't. But he's not going to be with us tonight. He may drop in maybe later for the WTF lyrics part of this, where we talk about lyrics that Prince has done that are just we don't understand or we just need some clarity on. I've considered. And I've considered opening up the phone lines, but I don't know if I have the adapter for my phone to be able to pull that off. So maybe we'll see. We'll play with that and see if that works. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the goal. Yes. So Martin Kember is going to be on tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I think I've got the sound effects ready almost.
Hold on, let me see. Me.
Yes, there's like 10 pages of sound effects, but you can't move them around from page to page. So you can only organize the sound effects that are on each page. And look at this. He's got a multi-camera setup tonight. What is happening here?
I mean,
Look at
somebody's
this.
got to step up, right?
Oh my God! Look, he's got the Funkatopia Live logo up on the screen over there. I mean, this is like, what is happening here? I mean, you are like you are like representing on a level that I'm not even at. I mean, this is just, you got to come over, man. It's just
We got to set it up.
Look, you got look at you with your shirt all unbuttoned with the accentuated necklace, and I mean, and your earrings on. I just feel like a slouch now.
I mean, I got a style for the people. That's for you guys.
I've got a Windex bottle in the background.
Get to spraying.
It's insulting. It really is. It's like ridiculous. How much time we got here? Hold on a second. 49 seconds before we're live. So for those of you just joining us, we are in the middle of a pre-show right now, but I'm going to go ahead and, well, I want to change over the sound, but with the second that I do that, we get, oh, I meant to tell you, listen to this. I was trying to boost the Eric Leeds interview that I did on YouTube, and I didn't pay attention. And a few days later, I looked to see, and it said it couldn't boost it because there was talk of alcohol in the thing. I said, alcohol? When we started the show, remember Eric said, what do I win? And I said, we'll pay you in Hennessy or whatever.
Yeah.
And we literally talked about Hennessy for like all of like 10 seconds. And I freaking, YouTube is a pain in my ass. All right. Hold on a second. Here we go.
I'm trying to get rid of the
Welcome, one and all. It's Mr. Chris Radio Show. I'm really low.
Well, while you're fixing that,
check. All right, I'm. Here we go. I'm back.
Hey.
Cool. All right, so welcome, one and all. I'm Mr. Chris for the Funkatopia Radio Show with my illustrious co-host. There he is, right with me, right to my right. If you're watching on video, actually, that's my left on the video. Mr. Jeff Page is in the house. Jeff, give me a level. Let's see where we are with that.
1, 2, test 1, 2.
Yeah, you can probably boost up a little bit, but I think you're good.
I boost up a little bit. Is that any better?
Well, actually, I might be able to pull you up right here. Check it. Let me do it and give me another level here real quick.
Banana Rama. 1, 2.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. I'm so glad that everybody's here to join us. And tonight we have a very special guest, the very talented Martin Kember. Some of you may remember him from AZ1. Some of you may remember him from Color Me Bad. And he's also done lots of production work for a variety of different folks as well. We're going to be talking about all that, including Tupac. I got to get to the bottom of that story. But yeah, Martin Kember is going to be joining us on the show. Plus, on top of that, we also have, we're going to be doing a segment called WTF Lyrics. And we're going to be talking about lyrics in Prince's music that it just either don't make sense, or maybe we just need a little bit of clarity and we can't really figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. We'd like to figure it out, but it's like, I don't know.
Or we're emotional and we just want to talk about it.
Yeah. Or we just want to talk about whatever it is. Rob Rhythm will not be joining us tonight, so it's just Jeff and I, and obviously Martin will be joining us in just a little bit. But yeah, man, it's been amazing. It is. I'm looking at all these fine folks that are joining us here. Martin will be with us very, very shortly, and I told him, I said, you can hang back till 8:15 if you want, because we're gonna be talking about some stuff, or you can join us and talk about it as you like. I mean, it's perfectly fine. Again, tonight we welcome the super talented Martin Kember to the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But to start, though, we'll start talking about how today marks today. This very day marks
the day.
This is the day. It's the 42nd anniversary of Prince's second album, Prince, the self-titled album, Prince.
I mean, what an insane sophomoric effort. I mean, most people, if they come out with like this amazing debut, then normally the second album is meh. There's very, very few artists, I think, in history that come out with like an insane debut album and then are able to follow up with just as an amazing second album. I'm trying to think of some that are off the top of my head.
Other than Michael Jackson, not really.
Yeah, but he got to start with Jackson. That just came in my mind, but he got to start with Jackson 5, so he had a little bit of a launching pad before he even got to that point.
True.
Van Halen was. I mean, I picked up. I happened to be in a. I didn't buy it, but I should have. But I was in a. Because I was considering buying a new board because I'm kind of like over it with this whole. I don't know. I'm over it with this board and I want to replace it. And I happened to be in Guitar Center and I picked up Van Halen's debut album. Now keep in mind, this is Van Halen's very first album. And on that album, Running with the Devil, Eruption, You Really Got Me, ain't talking about love, Jamie's Crying, Ice Cream Man, like all of this stuff was on that first album.
All the greats were in the beginning.
That's just ridiculous to me that a band can have that type of it's just have that many hits off of the first time out of the gate. It's just like, what is going on? And then, of course, they came out with Van Halen 2, which had Dance the Night Away, Spanish Fly, and Beautiful Girl. I mean, they had like a bunch. But anyways, Prince's second album, I don't want to talk about Van Halen. Prince's second album, Prince, came out. And man, again, what an amazing album. I Want to Be Your Lover. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. Sexy Dancer.
When We're Dancing Close and Slow.
Yeah, When We're Dancing Close and Slow, which I might add, that particular song, that song did not hit me until like within the last 5 or so years. That song was always this kind of disposable song, but then I must have been in the right listening pattern or something, and that song came on, and I was like, wow, that song is really freaking good. I wish that I would have appreciated it over the years, but it's almost like kind of getting new music to me, really, in a way. But they had With You, Bambi, Still Waiting. I mean, and of course, I Feel For You, which nobody knew was a hit at the time until Shaka redid it, and then you could put it back on everybody's radar, and then they went back and listened to it. It goes, oh, it's just as good as when he did it originally.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, I mean, that's just friggin' incredible. But yeah, today is the 42nd anniversary of that album, which it just blows my mind that
it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
10 when this album came out. I was 10. So I think I missed the boat on this one.
You're only 20 now, so
no, I'll be 53 in November. So I'm getting up there, but yeah.
You know what's crazy about that is that came out and Prince wasn't even on my radar at the time.
Right.
I didn't even get turned on to Prince until Dirty Mind. So it was the very next album. And that turned me on to Prince, and then solidified it was Controversy. When Controversy came out, I didn't even have to hear the album. I saw the picture on the album and I was like, I'm convinced. And after that, I had to go back. I said, wait a second, what happened? And that's when I finally got I Want to Be Your Love. Prince, the album. So, it took me a few.
If I'm being honest, I know Rob said that Dirty Mind was the one that just that broke him. And I had heard a couple of songs on the radio from Dirty Mind. Obviously, I'd heard those. But I didn't really, buy the album or have any interest in buying the album. Then when Controversy came out, Controversy was the selling point for me as well. It was like I got it, and I actually picked up the cassette tape, and that was just like, oh, good Lord, this is like, because I loved that. I think that was really that was the first album when he really settled into the funk, when he really just kind of settled into that, just that bump. He just really, and then I went backwards from there. I'm not saying it didn't exist on Dirty Mind. I'm just saying, but he just kind of really settled into it on that album, which really appealed to me.
I agree. And it felt like he had something to say on that one to me. Like
Yeah.
I was that young, but it still felt like he was making a statement. And so that was my first feeling of somebody making a statement. You know what I mean? Like other than just music, it was like, hey, whoa, you know? So
it was pretty freaking amazing album. And so we celebrate 42 years of that. Again, for those of you just joining us, we have very, very special guest, the talented Martin Kember will be joining us. And but in the meantime, we absolutely we'll be talking about also WTF lyrics as well. We're going over some Prince lyrics that we kind of collected, and we're just like, okay, does somebody know what this means? I wish that I could open up the phone lines, but I would need a specific phone jack, and maybe I have time to try to find it at some point in time. But until then, this is what it is.
Hey,
go ahead.
It's funny. I was just looking at the comments, and somebody said we left out the Sleeper song, and it says it's going to be lonely. And that's funny that they said that, because when I got the Prince album, I was sitting by myself in quiet time. I was just upset, not happy, and I put this album on. And when It's Gonna Be Lonely hit, I couldn't stop playing it. I would play it over and over and over. All the others were great. Still Waiting got me going, but once I heard It's Gonna Be Lonely, I couldn't stop. That's the first one I had to jump on the guitar keyboard and figure out, I want to play this.
Right. Yeah. It's hold on a second. Somebody saying, I hear dialogue under the music. Oh, that was before we started the show. Jeff Rose. Yeah, I guess we were on the mic. We were talking underneath the music. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why, but it's okay. That's another one of the reasons why I need a new board, because this one's just kind of making decisions on its own, and it's just getting to a point where more and more things are just getting, ridiculous. All right, so yeah, we got a few announcements too. Some really, really cool announcements that you need to know about. I forgot to mention too that October 14th, 5 days ago, marked the 40th anniversary of the release of the album we were just talking about, Controversy. And of course, the Prince Estate released the purple vinyl of Do Me Baby, an early version of it that you guys may have heard. We've put it on rotation. We purchased it, and we did put it on rotation on the radio station. But they're actually doing a purple vinyl of that early version. I guess it's with the other version on the other side. I don't remember what's on the other side. Plus, they also did a cassette version of it too, but that's already sold out on the Prince store. But have you heard that early version of Do Me Baby? It's fast. It's faster. It's like it's paced up.
Yeah, it's faster and it's more in time. Like he's singing in cadence more than the emotion that he puts after. Other than that, yeah.
It's really definitely cool. Love seeing all these fine folks in the house. Ernest in the house. What's going on, brother? Alfonso Stars in the house. What's going on, brother? I'm seeing all you fine people. I'm so sorry. The Purple Brothers. Purple Brothers also mentioned that the sophomore release from D'Angelo, Voodoo was also a great follow up. Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't Questlove produce that second album, or did he produce the third one? I'm trying to remember which one Questlove produced, but
I can't remember.
He's an amazing producer, so he does really good. So here's a couple announcements too, just so you know. This literally just came in the wire like a couple hours ago. No joke, it came in a couple hours ago. There is a organization called Superfly, and they basically deal with entertainment and brand experience, and they are partnering with the Prince Estate to do a one-of-a-kind immersive experience that will honor the legacy and artistry of Prince. And it is the project is, again, being done with the Prince Estate, and it's set to launch in Chicago in 2022. And they'll be sharing some more details. And Carrie Black, who's the co-founder of Superfly, says, we want to reimagine how fans interact with their favorite artists and music. There are a few ways to encounter music in a physical space outside of concerts. This project will change that, pioneering a new approach to experiences while respecting the creative vision of the artist. Now, they've done this group, Superfly. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but they did an experience with David Bowie where literally you walk into a room and the whole room is kind of envelops you. It's kind of got like it kind of feels like you're almost in a concert. You can watch shows. There's also an area where you can actually, they have like costumes that you can like Instagram yourself into. And,
Wow.
and it's a bunch of different weird things that they have.
Nice. It's really cool. Yeah. I think for this one, you probably have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka in order to enjoy the experience first.
Maybe. I'm hearing myself on your side a little bit on echo. Did you change something or alter something on your
I
side?
didn't, but how's that? Is that any better?
I don't know. Yes, it is better. But can you still hear me?
I still hear you.
Okay, good. That's perfect then. That's all.
I don't hate
Yeah, April says I'm hearing an echo on YouTube. Yeah, there's a little bit of an echo, but we just I think we just repaired it. There may be a little bit something in the background because as you can see, Jeff is now that echoes back again. It's back. It's back again.
It is?
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm kind of in headphones, so it shouldn't be me. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it shouldn't be. All right, now it's gone. Whatever you're doing.
That I didn't change anything.
All right, something's changing. All right. Well, as long as you guys are not hearing echoes, I'm perfectly okay. Rob's not here, so we can't blame it on him. He's normally our go-to for blaming stuff on.
Yeah, right?
He's always figuring out some way to, let's see if I press this button, what happens?
I mean, if you're going to blame somebody.
Yeah, he's a good person to blame, for sure. Because he is the least technically savvy of all of us. I don't even think that's the right terminology. I think it's technologically savvy. I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, so anyways, this immersive experience is going to be really, really cool. I imagine if it's going to be anything like the David Bowie thing, you're going to be able to step into his clothes, like maybe you step into the Purple Rain outfit and be able not to actually put it on you because nobody would fit. I don't even know anybody here or the sizes of anybody here, but nobody would fit into his clothes, obviously. But they set up something in a where it's a little bit unusual, where you can kind of, it looks like you're wearing it, like they were kind of like transposed on you or something. I don't know. So anyways, it's going to be really cool. And so we'll see. So it looks like we're going to have to make a road trip to Chicago and check it out. Carrie says she'd fit. I'd fit. I would not fit. I know I would not fit. I might get the shirt on over my leg, maybe. But even though I've lost a lot of weight, I still am not anywhere near where I'd need to be. And even if I was down to my high school weight, I still would not fit into the clothes. It's just not possible. Anyways, so there's that. Oh, and so I also did have, so keep an ear out for that. That's going to be happening in 2022. Don't know when, but it's going to be in Chicago. So, I wish they would do something similar to that, where it's like kind of an immersive experience somewhere at Paisley Park. Just having a room, because they have all those rooms that are dedicated to Sign of the Times and dedicated. You've never been there, but they have like rooms where you can walk in and they have like a bunch of wardrobe and stuff and set stuff from Sign of the Times, and you can go into another one. They've got a bunch of them from Purple Rain, but it would be really cool to go into a room where you're just kind of immersed in it. Maybe it looks like there's a crowd all around you. Maybe I don't know. It's going to be cool to see what happens. The next announcement and the last announcement that I have is really specific. You were going to say something. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh no, I can't hear you. You're on mute. You are. You're muted. Now you're not muted. Are you sure you didn't like meet with Rob beforehand? And like, let's see. How can I figure out what to do on my, all right. Well, Rob, there you go.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit the button, but I just wanted to make sure are we still hearing echo or not? I just want to make sure, because again, I am styling a little different, multi-cameras, a little bit changes. So maybe that is affecting it. And if it is, I'll make an adjustment on my end.
I don't know. I'm talking now and there's no echo. So I think we're okay there.
Okay.
Yeah. Andre's saying it's your headset. My headset doesn't have a microphone on it, so there's nothing to pick up audio on my headset. So that's not it.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyways, so the other announcement that I have is really kind of for Atlanta folks and for anybody that is interested in coming to Atlanta or is in driving distance from Atlanta, Georgia. November 11th. I just want you guys to put it on your calendar. November 11th. We have not finalized everything, so I'm not giving you all the details. But Ashley Tamar Davis, as many of you know, Tamar, she was one of Prince's proteges. She actually existed way before that, but she's also in movies. She's also in a lot of TV series. She was also the singer on the song "Beautiful, Loved, and Blessed" that you guys had heard. She also went on tour with Prince as her guitarist. If you guys remember that Tamar tour in 2006, where she was touring and Prince was playing as her guitar. Tamar, who's been on the show a few times here, she is actually going to be coming to Atlanta that week. And on November 11th, we are planning an event, and Tamar is going to be there. And yours truly, I will be there. I will also be DJing. I will be so we'll be playing lots of Prince stuff and it should be very, very cool. So we're going to be doing all that, and it's going to be very, very, it's going to be pretty awesome. And I hope that you guys will join us. But it's going to be good. And let me go ahead and message Martin and let him know. But yeah, so November 11th, if you guys are in Atlanta, please make sure that you block it out on your calendar. You will not want to be anywhere else. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast. So there's going to be a lot of fun. So obviously some dancing. We're going to be doing some drinking as well. We're going to be playing a bunch of Prince music. We're going to be doing a listening party for Ashley Tamar's album. Tamar's going to be there. We're going to be all out. And it's going to be awesome. So you won't want to be anywhere else. November 11th, we'll give you more details as they break. But trust me, November 11th in Atlanta. It's actually technically outside of Atlanta in Gwinnett County. But it's okay. That's where we're going to be. So please make sure you write that down.
Anyone who doesn't show up, we will shun you for at least a day. Just know that.
Well, all you Georgia folks, you need to be here because it will be awesome. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Michelle says, love Ashley. Yeah, so she's going to be, you're all the way over in Houston, but you need to come. Well, I know it's a long way out, but
come on down.
You need to make sure you're out because it's going to be fun. And yes, that'll be great, Marsha. And going to get some purple lays together and head out. Yes, come on out. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time. It's Thursday, November 11th. Stay tuned. Put it on your calendar.
Absolutely.
That's all there is to it. Put it on your calendar. We are waiting for Martin. As soon as he gets here, we'll start the interview as far as he's concerned. Alfonso, if you have his number, you have his cell phone. I know that you do. Go ahead and just text him and say, where are you at? We're waiting for you. And we'll talk about it.
Let's all go knock on his door. Just kind of.
Yeah. It's just, hello.
Hello.
But yeah, it's going to be some fun. And as I mentioned, so we kind of went over the news. We kind of talked a little bit about the 42nd.
Martin's in the chat.
Martin says, I'm here. Yeah, you're here, Martin, but you're not here.
You're not here. You're just kind of
here, Martin. Martin, you need to be here. You need to use that StreamYard link that I sent to you and come on in. Come on into the show.
Come on. Join us.
Join us. And once Martin uses that StreamYard link that I sent him on Facebook and he joins us via camera and whatnot, or however he's going to be joining us, then we will talk about all kinds of stuff about him. But also after this, we're going to be talking about WTF lyrics, where we're going to be talking about some insane lyrics. And while we're waiting for Martin, why don't we go ahead and let's talk
some ideas.
Well, here's one that we've talked about before. We'll just do this while we're waiting for him. From the song "Glam Slam," that whole entire section. Soda fizzing on the lawn, heavy feather flicking nipple. I get that one. Baby scam water ripple. I don't understand. It means I love you. Okay, I get the heavy feather flick a nipple. That doesn't take too much of a stretch to kind of get that one. But the soda fizzing on the lawn, I think I kind of get that one. I think I understand that one.
Yeah. The
I'm
more
trying
I
to
try to take
figure
this in,
out the kid friendly way to say that.
there isn't one. The more I try to
imagine a very trimly cut lawn. I don't know what to say.
There's a snake in the grass.
Yes, I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. What did you think it meant, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm about the same place.
Huh?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm about the same place. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, he's painting pictures. So I'm just picturing this thinking, okay, what am I seeing? Oh.
Oh, yeah. I see what Elena put on here. Yeah, it's I see what Elena put on here, which is not very, it's very inappropriate.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I don't know why I posted that. I was actually trying to click on Brian's where he said he threw a can of Pepsi on the lawn. Come on, man.
That's what it was.
Yes.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's just go with that. But I think visual when you're trying when you pair that with the heavy feather flick a nipple, it's just kind of gets. I tell you what, let's bring Martin into the mix, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Kember, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you guys doing? What's up, Jeff? What's up? What's up, Mr. Christopher? How you feeling, man?
I am doing good. It's good to see you.
Made it, man.
I'm so used to just going Facebook Live and then joining the broadcast. I'm like, wait a minute. There's probably another procedure for this. Let me check that text stream again. So, my bad.
It's all, you're like, I'm here. We're like, not really.
There we go. Now I can see.
20 minutes later.
I have the iPad that keeps going to sleep on me, and then I have to put in my password, and then of course this is not a paid software, so now it's got this ad rotating, so I've got to wait for the ad to get done. Yeah. So, anyways, how you doing, Mr. Kember? How are you, sir?
Man, I am good, man. Staying busy, man. Staying out of trouble and trying to make some money, man.
Oh well, that's good. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. That's for sure. Man, it's really good to see you, and I just, I'm glad that you were on. You happened to be online the other day, the other time. Who was on? I think it was Greg Boyer that was on. And,
Greg Boyer, yeah. And then I caught the interview with Eric a little bit after the fact, after the broadcast last week. That was really, really entertaining and informative also.
Well, it was also cut short because, as many people know, Eric's going to be on for a part 2. We've already kind of been in discussions about this. So he's going to be on for a part 2 of this because he is a massive baseball fan, like a hardcore baseball fan, like big time.
Big time, hardcore.
So he is a huge Dodgers fan. And right now, his Dodgers are playing my Atlanta Braves, so I've kind of had been sending emails back and forth, the whole apology.
It's a must win for the Dodgers. It's a must win.
Well,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they could lose one more time, but then that's it.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a good look, though.
This would reenact what happened last year for the same exact thing. I'm just saying it could. That's, that's an Atlanta thing. You just have to understand. Where we get way ahead and then we go, we're just kidding. Here you go.
I can't imagine that happening again, a whole repeat of that.
Well,
I'm torn though, because I'm here in Atlanta, but I'm from Boston. So I'm about to have 2 of my teams go. So, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's a big night. It's a big night in sports. Opening night in the NBA, too.
Is it really? Is it already that time?
Opening night in the NBA, yeah.
Oh, my.
Our Los Angeles Lakers play Alfonso Starr's Golden State Warriors tonight, opening up for
that's a pretty big game
as we chase our 18th ring. Yeah, I said 18.
All right. We're still looking to even get close to the ring. We just want to get close enough to smell it. Oh, Hawks. Anyways, we're not going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about Martin Kember. Thank you so much for joining us today. But I don't want to waste too much time, and because we got so much to talk about. But I definitely want to make sure that we kind of give people a little bit of background about you too. You're the singer extraordinaire. You were with AZ1, Color Me Bad. You also did some production for Tupac. We're going to talk about that right out of the gate.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
We're not going to do that. That's
we have to know what that's all about for sure. But so you were born in London.
Nothing's off the table. Nothing is off the
good
table.
to know. So you were born in London, England. You now live in Chicago. For those not familiar with your background, kind of fill us in on your humble beginnings. I guess starting in London, like how did you get from London to here? What was that whole process? What was going on there?
Well, my mother was a singer also. She was an opera singer. And she had the opportunity to come from London to sing at Carnegie Hall. And so the family came to see her performance. And as the story goes, we kind of fell in love with this country. My father, who was an electrical engineer, realized he could make a lot more here at the time using his skills. And he got a job job offer over here. And we first started out in New York. We lived just actually in Connecticut, but my dad used to commute into New York. And man, he got transferred so much. I've literally lived in so many different states, including Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan for a good long time, DC, which I'm going back to in November, which we'll talk about later. I did live in Chicago for 9 years also. But LA, I got here in junior high school. And one of the reasons my dad accepted a position here is because he knew that how focused I was on music. So shout out to Dad, man, for trying to put me in a place where I could continue to chase my dreams as my mom had. And so she was the one who really fostered my musical aspirations, taught me to sing, taught me breath control, and she was a soprano. So, needless to say, I think my strength is my falsetto. So thank you, Mom. So I started out literally as a kid doing impersonations of certain popular artists at the time, and got certain jobs, wedding gigs and cruise ship gigs and stuff like that as a kid. But my aspirations.
You were on a cruise ship as a kid? Well, how old were you?
Yes.
Yeah. How old were you when you were doing cruise ships?
Probably 9 or 10.
What?
Yeah. I used to do acts with my sisters. We used to do impersonations. Yeah, it was really a lot of fun.
Very cool. Okay,
so I was just born with music in my blood, and I fell in love with R&B and soul music.
We lost your audio, Martin.
So I fell in love with R&B music and disco as a kid, and funk and R&B, and once Prince came along, it just took everything to the next level for me. I would say, single-handedly, he's clearly the biggest musical inspiration, in my life, I just think, in coming up in my generation, we've been so blessed to have some of the greats like Michael Jackson and Prince, and not everybody gets that, you know what I mean? And so I'm just a music fan first. I was a kid that grew up listening to radio, and just I didn't learn music from a musical standpoint as far as learning. I learned everything by ear, and I've just always heard something and tried to figure out how to recreate it, and that's been kind of like my approach to my creative process.
Yeah. So then, we kind of fast forward. I'm really intrigued by the whole cruise ship thing at 9 or 10, because I've been on a cruise. I've been on a few cruise ships, and I see some of the performers there, and I've always thought to myself, you know what? it might actually be really, really cool to have a cruise ship life, you know, to actually be able to go wherever you wanted to go. You stay on the ship, you go out and, you know, perform, you know, once a night or maybe every other night, depending on how the cruise is set up. And then, you know, you get all your meals free, you get blah, 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 blah. I just, but you were only 9 or 10. So
right. So for us, it was
enamored
pretty
with it.
much in and out, one gig and then back home, back to school kind of thing. So
Oh,
yeah. So I didn't quite get the full experience of that as a kid anyway.
yeah, that's a shame.
I would say then, did you even understand the level of what you were doing versus what adults do? You know what I mean? Being so young doing that?
I think I did, yeah, because I mean, it was one of the first opportunities that I got to play with a band, you know, with a backing band. And and we were doing, like I said, impersonations. My sisters would sing with me and we would do 3-part harmony and do the Bee Gees. And, you know, I would do Reasons, Earth, Wind and Fire. And, you know, you know, here's this little white boy, you know, just going at it. You know?
All right, now, were you doing the Philip Bailey line of Reasons, or what?
Absolutely, the live version. The live version, yes, sir.
Oh my God, that's nice. Well, at 9 or 10, your voice hasn't broken yet, so you might.
Yeah, they haven't dropped yet.
You know,
Exactly.
It's not like Michael got a lot of credit for hitting all these high notes, but he was a kid, you know.
Exactly. It's a little easier back then. The key is trying to keep it once your voice does change. You know?
I am literally listening to Reasons in my head right now, and I'm just wincing as a vocalist. It's like, oh my God. But then in high school, you guys put together a group called AZ1. And that's how it's pronounced, right? It was
It's actually As One, yeah.
As one.
Yeah. And you know, the concept of As One was started by me, one of my best friends, Sean Harris, who was from New York. I was from everywhere, including London, right? And my other best friend, Jeff Gill, who was from Los Angeles. So we started the group not after. Now, when I was 15, I'll just rewind a little bit. When I was 15, I was working at a club as a DJ that I wasn't even old enough to get into, but it was a 16 and up club. And so again, you know, there I would, you know, kind of build my, you know, my followers, as they were back then. I'm singing live in the club. I DJ, and then when it came down, you know, back then we used to play the ballads and break it down so everybody could get a little slow dance on, right? So, you know, so then I'd grab the mic and sing, and you know, so not long after that, you know, after my DJ years, I got serious about creating music again, and As One was formed with Sean and Jeff. And we created a demo, and we actually, the first deal that we got was with a company called Indigo Records. Now there's a story behind this, because Indigo Records was led by a gentleman named Mr. Klein, who eventually partnered with another gentleman by the name of Suge Knight, who is very well known. That label eventually kind of morphed into Death Row. But I was with them prior to that stay. But during that time with that label, Suge brought in another gentleman who was very close with the NWA camp, and had done a lot of writing and producing for NWA and Michelet. L.A. Dre, who wrote Something in My Heart, and Nice Tea and all that stuff with Dr. Dre. So he came in to help produce, because we were kind of raw, you know, we had a lot of raw talent, but so they brought L.A. Dre in to help produce our project. And you know, before too long, you know, we hit it off so well with L.A. Dre, and we needed a stronger keyboard player. He was like, hey man, you know, would you guys be interested in me joining the group? We were like, yeah, for sure. So not long after that, we finished a demo, and we had 2 labels, Scotty Brothers, right, and Atlantic, that were showing the most interest at the time. I was excited because James Brown was on Scotty Brothers at the time. I'm like, I could be label mates with James Brown. So we took the Scotty Brothers deal. And we had a great time, and we released a single called Trust in Me.
And hold on a second.
Yeah. Hey!
For those that don't remember, we want to make sure that if you guys happen to take a little bit of a blast from the past here, this is this is Trust in Me, the video that I happened to find online, and I was actually and I want to. This is actually really funny because those who don't remember Trust in Me, but hold on a second. Yeah, and the other thing too, I want to get the picture of the band because let's see, you can see the young Martin Kember here. Hold on, look at him! Look at him, baby! Oh my God! So yeah, so Trust in Me breaks, and you guys are like, you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it, and you also had what was the other song was Wish? Was it Wish You or
With You? Yeah, with
yeah.
You was the follow-up single to that. And man, one of the highlights of that time, I've got a few standout times about my time with As One. The highlight being our performance and interview on Soul Train with Don Cornelius. Now, keep in mind, not many people know this, but I was actually a Soul Train dancer prior to being in As One.
What?
So I went through the process of being a dancer and then coming back a number of years later and performing on Soul Train and being interviewed by the iconic Don Cornelius with some of my best friends, man. So it was some of the highlights of my life, just being on tour. And then, we were a new band at the time. So I remember another standout moment during that time was, we were in Richmond, Virginia. I'd never been to Richmond, Virginia before, but we were in a club and, it was, they were a little rowdy that night, right? And so the radio had just started playing our song out there. So nobody knew really who we were, but so we took the stage in this club. It was packed. People are like, just giving us a rough time, like who the hell are you, as our music started to play, this one guy was bold enough and he threw a bottle up on the stage, like just being aggressive. But my best friend Sean, he like caught the bottle and then really slowly walked over and put it on the speaker, right? And everybody's like, ooh. So, they gave us a hard time. But once we started singing and getting everybody rocking with that New Jack thing, man, they were screaming, go white boy, go, go.
Right.
That's always great.
But Sean saved us that night, man, with the
oh man, that's awesome.
Got like reflexes.
So where are all these other guys that used to be in As One? Where are they at right now?
Everybody's here in LA. Unfortunately, we lost LA Dre about 3 years ago. He passed from a stroke, complications from that stroke. So God rest his soul, man. But LA Dre was the one with the remix of With You, who made the connection. So we had Eazy-E rap on the remix of that, because everybody was doing remixes back then, doing like the Jodeci Come and Talk to Me remix. So we're like, we want something hard like that, even though it's a ballad. So Eazy came and laced it up, and and that version, the label decided not to release at the time. So we ended up kind of putting it out and leaking it ourselves, sometime after. But, shout out to Eazy-E, man. God rest his soul also. But great guy, man.
Definitely. You guys did a lot of writing. You specifically did a lot of writing and production.
Yeah.
And you've written for what, Peebo Bryson? Let's Count on Me.
Peebo Bryson, yeah. Back at that time, me and Jeff did the remix of Shantae Moore's Old School Lovin'. Give me that old school lovin'. That was a joint. So Kenny Lattimore. I also
Wayne Brady.
did quite a lot of stuff for the Australian Idol. Like the first winner of Australian Idol was this fantastic singer named Guy Sebastian. So he recorded a few of my songs also, and he had platinum success with his albums. So I was always either writing for myself or trying to develop acts, or writing for other groups, and just always involved in creating music, remixing music, in one way or another.
Yeah. Now, what about this one you did that was an Asian release? That was all for One that you put out. You did 2 songs, like I Prayed for You, I think, and Get It Right.
Wow, you know about those, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so you can't hide everything. Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's
Well,
the story?
I was
Why?
great. I was great friends with Jamie Jones from All for One and Dealey's and all the guys, man. And there were a couple times when one of the guys, here and there wasn't able to travel, and I go jump in with All for One in Singapore or something like that, and just be the fourth voice that night. If one of the guys for whatever reason couldn't travel, we were just great friends like that. And Jamie was a production partner of mine, for a good long time too. We wrote a lot of music together. For All for One in their 2000 in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, with some of the music that they put out. And Jamie's got some wonderful. He had a wonderful gospel album that he did mid 2000s also that was just I had two or three 4 songs on that if I recall that was just just a fantastic kind of neo soul gospel album.
Nice. Yeah, you see, that's all the secret stuff. So we mentioned it. Chris mentioned it. You mentioned it. We said we're gonna have to get back to it. So this remix with Tupac.
Yeah, we got another Tupac story. We have to figure this out.
Well, me and
gotta-
Sean and Jeff first, I think, met Tupac up at the label way back in those days when I was with Indigo and Tom Klein and the Suge Knight album. We met Tupac back then. Now, when he passed, in a way similar to Prince in some way, he had a lot of things that he had recorded that he had never been released. So we won't call it a vault, but he definitely had a lot of music that had not been released. So my good friend Delane Roberts and Kevin Black at Interscope, I was production partners with Jamie Jones from All for One at the time. Now go figure, here's Jamie Jones doing a gospel album, but we're producing Tupac remixes together also. So there's a wide variety of creative differences there, right, so to speak. But so that came about right after Tupac died on the not long after Tupac passed away. The Until the End of Time album. They gave me and Jamie just the acapella DAT tapes of Let 'Em Have It and Thuggin' You, Thuggin' Me. Let 'Em Have It featured Left Eye, God rest her soul.
Right.
And Thuggin' You, Thuggin' Me featured Casey and JoJo. So I'd never heard the original tracks. Nobody had ever heard, to my knowledge, the original tracks. So we just built a musical track around that audio of his voice rapping, and it ended up being on the Until the End of Time album, and ended up selling over 6 million copies worldwide. So one of the most successful projects I've been a part of, but I never, unfortunately, never got to be in the studio with Pac, which I would have loved to have done. That would have been an experience and another story all to itself, I can guarantee. But yeah, man, it was just a blessing and an honor to be able to be involved in his legacy in some way or another.
Wow. Yeah, that's just incredible. Sorry if I seem distracted there for a second, but
Sure.
for the first time ever in the history of me doing this show for years, my wife decided to send a bunch of stuff to the printer behind me. So I'm sitting here trying to listen to the story and hear, man. I'm like, are you serious right now? Never, ever, ever happened.
She's taking notes on the show. That's what it is.
Like, I don't like what's being said right now. Click, 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 click. But I'm glad that you never actually got to, cross paths with Suge. So you're basically saying you've never ever been hung over the side of a of a hotel by your ankles or anything.
I have not.
But you seem like you have a story to tell.
I have witnessed a lot of things.
Please share.
When we were signed to that label, I was also a single dad at the time. And so, I wasn't in the position where some of the other guys were, where, I had another mouth to feed and a responsibility. So Tom Klein also had an insurance company. So while we're recording our record, our demo, our music, I'm also working at his insurance company during the day, which was also a house or a home to the record label, the same, corporate offices in Wilshire and on Wilshire in Beverly Hills. And so, yeah, there was there was a lot of things that I was able to unfortunately witness that were very scary. And it wasn't too long before I realized, like, this probably isn't the best place for me to be. I might be in a little over my head. And respectfully, I'll keep that where that is. But me and Jeff and Sean took Suge and Mr. Klein to Roscoe's one day and respectfully asked out of our contract, and they granted it. So much respect, man. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that was some things, and some days that were some tough pills to swallow of things that you would witness going on in those days. Because I'm just one of those guys. I've only ever done this for the love of music and the creative process and the performance and of what we're trying to create. And when it gets to things that are above and beyond and so extra, you know what I mean, you got to sometimes look around and recognize that and know where you're probably better off.
Right.
And maybe I missed it, but did Tupac ever really comment on your work on the remix?
It was after he passed, unfortunately. No. I know that it got the approval of his mom and Molly, who was very close to him at Interscope. She was kind of like one of his liaisons at the label. But they chose them to be on the album and they chose them to be singles, so that meant something. That meant a lot to me. That I would think that as brilliant as Pac was, that the people closest to him would appreciate our creations or the additions to his creations. I'll put it that way. That
Nice.
were accepted and respected.
Now, you have a gold record too, right?
I do, yeah. Well, I got the platinum with Tupac. My first gold record was actually with a Christian boy band called Plus One, who recorded one of my songs on. I not long after As One, several years after, I signed a solo deal with Warner Brothers and did an album, One Shade of Love, which was kind of a very kind of romantic ballad-heavy album. That's what the label wanted. They wanted like a Babyface-esque, but maybe a little bit more pop type of approach to R&B pop. And, I produced that album, wrote that album with a great friend of mine that I still work with every now and then, Reed Vertelny, who'd done a lot of work with Luther Vandross. And so we took a year and a half creating that record, all analog, 48-track analog, real music, real instruments, real musicians, and unfortunately, they kind of, there was a big political turmoil at the label at the time, and they kind of dribbled it out without any promotion because I had a guaranteed release clause in my contract.
Political turmoil at a record label? I don't know.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? So, I ended up on the wrong side of the power struggle. And but that record still, they released it and it still kind of built its kind of cult following, European and American, kind of a cult following of people who found it for themselves and it still opened up a lot of doors for me. And then I was also able to shop some of those songs. One of them was covered by Kenny Lattimore. One of them was covered by that group Plus One, which ended up being my first gold. So, everybody's got battle stories and war stories and scars in this business, but it's a roller coaster. So you're constantly trying to figure out how to ride that roller coaster and stay creative and not let those ups and downs affect your creative process.
Yeah, Vicky says, Martin, you need to write a book.
Ooh, I've thought about it.
Yeah, I bet you probably had some stories for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Color Me Bad for a moment. Color Me Bad, is a band that started in 1985 out of Oklahoma of all places.
Yes.
I don't think I feel like I can name any bands that started in Oklahoma. I don't know. Anyway, they started out of Oklahoma. It may be what were you going to say? Does somebody know a band that came out of Oklahoma?
No, I was going to agree. I didn't know either.
I can't think of any bands that came out of Oklahoma. I'm
sure there's some country bands, but not really
yeah,
R&B or pop that I know.
I'm sure somebody's going to litter the thing. Oh, well, so-and-so came out of Oklahoma. And so
Everybody.
I know I'm about to be bashed. I got it. I'm about to be flamed for that. I got it. But they obviously became renowned for their hit "I Want to Sex You Up," which everybody obviously knew. For some reason, do I not have a clip of that song? I don't. I think I want to make sure that I don't play something that's going to get us kicked off of YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah,
but anyways, there also had other hits like "I Adore Me More" and "All for Love."
Yeah, you got Taking Back, also Slow Motion.
Right.
Those guys, which I will say when I was digging and playing and because I've listened to those songs back then, but I didn't ever notice that there was a remix with Bootsy Collins of Slow Motion. And I was like, dude, pretty awesome.
As I understand, that connection was made by their guitar player Ace, who was from that area in Ohio where Bootsy's from, and as the story goes, they made the connection there. But yeah, I joined Color Me Bad in let me see if I remember correctly, it was probably the end of 2012 through 2014. So it was kind of after their heyday. But they had broken up for a while. And they had broken up largely because of inner turmoil between the members of the group. But again, 90s R&B was still in demand, still making a good comeback and a resurgence in popularity, especially in the live music arenas. And so they had made an attempt to reunite. And they were actually doing some tour dates with, again, my great friends from All for One. And there had been, a big problem on the road, because there had been a lot of, well-documented substance abuse and alcohol issues with various members of the group. And so they had a tour to finish, and one of the members, Brian, was unable to do it, and the other two members of the group at that time, Kevin and Mark, could not see going forward with Brian. So they asked Jamie, like, hey, do you happen to know any white guys who were really soulful, that could sing, that could pull off? And Jamie was like, well, as a matter of fact, I do. So he made the connection for me. I was living in Chicago at the time. They had heard my album called Cycles, which I had released independently in the US, but I had a distribution deal in Japan for that album. So they had heard that album, which was another very kind of pop R&B album, just me writing, telling stories, and they were impressed by that. I got the call from them. They flew out to Chicago. And of course, I was a fan of Color Me Bad. So I'd done my homework. I knew the material. And I'd also looked online and saw, this particular a cappella that they used to do, and just kind of watched and learned, Brian's parts from those videos. And when they got to Chicago, we hit that a cappella, and I was ready, and our voices just blended so well instantly. And they were like, "We want you. You got the gig." I'm like, "Let's go!" All right. So it was a great experience, man. I had a great time, out on the road. And I'll be honest, half the time, not that I look like Brian, but there are probably some similarities, and half the time people didn't really know the difference, when we were on stage in these big arenas in New Jersey or New York, or, because there was a lot of those 90s throwback shows at the time. So we're doing, these beautiful arenas with big jumbotrons and, just a great time, man. And I had a blast doing it. Unfortunately, that came to an end going into 2015. Mark had decided that he wanted to reunite with Brian. Kevin at the time was like, if Martin's out, I'm out. I can't do the Brian thing. And so Kevin quit. And so it became, at that point, just Mark and Brian out there doing their thing. And, you can all YouTube and see how that ended up. But shout out to Kevin Thornton, man. Shout out to Kevin KT Thornton, man. That's a good dude, man. Talented dude. And, much respect to him.
And it's funny that you mentioned that people don't recognize you. Not to interrupt, Jeff, because this kind of segues into what we were just talking about, because Ann was saying Freak Juice, Tori Ruffin, who was with Morris Day at the time, is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. But there's other ones too. Apparently the Gap Band is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Cammie said Blake Shelton, Reba McEntire, Toby Keith, the All American Rejects, the Flaming Lips. I'll stop there. So all those bands are from Oklahoma.
Touché. I did not know the Gap Band was from there.
I did not know that. I would have thought Ohio or something is what I would have guessed.
Right.
But the reason why I put Ann's back up there was because of the fact that it said, because Tori experienced the same exact thing, because nobody really pays attention. And so sometimes when he's out there playing, they'll be in the middle of a show, and I think last time he was on the show, he said people would yell at him and they go, "Jesse, what's going on, Jesse?"
Right.
All right, okay. And he just nods his head and kind of moves along. But I think he probably got the same exact thing that people, calling you Brian and whatever else. You just kind of go along or nod your head or go somebody else.
Well, if people came up to me actually in person, like at the autograph sessions after, then I'd set the record straight, right? Like, no, I'm actually Martin. I replaced Brian, but but sometimes you don't want to bust their bubble. You just sign it Martin and they don't know what you signed anyway. Right. We were doing a lot of 40th and 50th birthday parties, right? People showing up, in these big groups of these beautiful ladies that are celebrating their 40th or their 50th. And, you just want to be a positive part of that experience for them.
Right. Exactly. I totally get that.
I could imagine where it didn't happen when you did the 2014, the BET Awards. I mean,
that was probably the highlight of that time. It was a difficult time, but what a fantastic opportunity that was, live TV, live TV with a band. Let's go, And that was actually a really difficult performance for me also, which, I've kind of talked about before, is that I had, recently lost my mom before that performance. And it suddenly hit me, we're backstage. Let me just also say, my mother and I, on the way to school every day, she loved Lionel Richie. I have always loved Lionel Richie and the Commodores. So we would always play, 3 Times a Lady or Still or Sail On or Hello or something in the car on the way to school. And of course, we're at the BET Awards and they're doing a Lifetime Achievement recognition for Lionel Richie. And all of a sudden Lionel Richie's out there singing these songs. And the lady, my mom, who was responsible for fact that I'm even able to stand on that stage at the Nokia Theater on live television on the BET Awards, I'm like, where's my mom? She should be here. And, so when I look back at the video of that, my eyes are puffy and tight. It was a rough, I think, after I hit the first note or two, I was able to like settle into my groove a little bit, but it was a tough performance because I was just overcome with emotion, not only at the opportunity, but just the fact of, going on after Lionel and realizing that I was in this moment without, without my mom,
Yeah. And, you got to end up playing
Get
like
emotional thinking
that.
about it now,
Well, you got to end up playing something like that. You got to play when you're playing something like the 2014 scenario. There's got to be some backstage stories too, because the amount of star power that is at an event like that, 2014. So there's got to be some highlights from that show that you guys share.
Well, I will say that Mark and Brian were they were on point. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Mark and Kevin were on point. You know what I mean? But Nicki Minaj was a guest on the show that night.
Really? I guess
there was,
she was around that time.
There were some people backstage that swore that they were quitting the business after some of the shenanigans that were going on. I wasn't there to witness them, but I know she was extremely demanding of a lot of the people. So shout out to Nicki Minaj, man. She is a diva. She is a diva for real. But nonetheless, extremely talented and really has made her mark on the industry.
Yeah, it's just amazing to be at those types of shows. I mean, every now and then I'll get to go to some type of show, and there's like so many different types of people there from so many different walks of life, and
right,
actors and musicians, and you get to, you just don't know who to see. You couldn't take enough selfies in enough quick period of time.
Here's the sad part of I won't say sad. The negative, I won't even say downer. Okay. The one awkward part about that show is that the 90s throwback section featured Color Me Bad, Silk, and Troop, right? Yeah. And so, but we were all secrets, right? So the whole 90s throwback, we were like surprise guest artists. So we didn't get to walk the red carpet. We were kind of sequestered in a room backstage because they didn't want the rumor getting out. They wanted it to really be a live surprise during the show, and Silk, Troop started out with all I do is think of you.
Yes.
They started out with that, and then we came out and did a little piece of Sex You Up, and Silk came and closed it out with Freak Me. And man, it was just a fantastic time, man. So, the after parties were even more fun. but it was just a little disappointing that we didn't get to fully enjoy all of the publicity that could have come from it also. But, I will say, in all complete honesty that, when I joined Color Me Bad, the offers that were coming in were pretty low because, they had a damaged reputation within the concert buying marketplace at the time. And by the time I left there, and after the BET Awards and the success that we'd had at all of the tour dates that we'd done together, it had more than quintupled, right? And that's just probably being a little modest to even say that. But the offers that were coming in were fantastic. But unfortunately, a little greed kicked in for Mark, and
Are you afraid? I mean, are you afraid that you're like kind of burning bridges? I mean, we appreciate the but you're like real candid right now as far as that's concerned right now.
Well, I mean, it kind of just is. It's nothing that hasn't been said before. Honestly, I mean,
Well, I
um,
understand. I just,
yeah, it's kind of
Really
well
eloquent the way
documented.
you're putting it. So,
I do. Yeah, I mean, I love candor, because that's really, important as far, because a lot of times you try to get people to, say what really happened, and they're just like, well, things just didn't work out.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Well,
so
there's
I love
there's
your
reasons for
honesty.
that. There's reasons
Yeah,
when things don't work out, right?
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I love your you being so candid.
That's why I said nothing's off the table, man.
Man,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
If you're
So,
not breaching any court orders, we're good.
well, see, and I know that, okay, so let's kind of shift away from calling me bad, because we're talking a little bit about the background Prince stuff. Obviously, I know whenever I go to Alfonso Starr's events, and I've been to I've probably been to like 3 or 4 of them. 9 times out of 10, you're there. How did that relationship between you and Alfonso start? And we're gonna pump the November show for sure. I mean, we want to make sure
Sure.
people can come out, but I do want to hear about the relationship that started between you and Alfonso, and also maybe to kind of feed into that. I see, I am very, very honored, and I notice the sign of the times. I see the guitar logo up there behind you. I see
Yep.
originals behind you. I see a bunch of logos. So obviously you're a hardcore Prince fan.
I
Have you
bleed
ever had an
purple.
opportunity to actually meet him? Did you get an
I,
opportunity to?
I never got to meet Prince. I always had in the back of my mind that one day I would, I would get to work with him. I felt, one day I'll get to work with him in one day, or one way or another.
Right.
But I never did. But I got the second best thing, which was that dream phone call in 2019, where I was offered the opportunity to do some dates with the New Power Generation as a guest vocalist. And that was really, just like a real dream come true, payoff moment for me, from all the bumps and bruises that I'd been through, in this business, which we all go through bumps and bruises,
Right.
But that was like that payoff moment for me, because, I've always been just a fantastically huge Prince fan since I heard in 1979, when I heard "I Want to Be Your Lover," driving in the family station wagon from Michigan to Los Angeles. I heard it somewhere in the Midwest. It came on the radio, and it's the first thing I did when we got to LA and got settled into our hotel. The first thing I did was went to the Glendale Galleria and bought that album, and I also bought the George Clinton Funkadelic, Not Just Knee Deep album at the same time, those two. And I had my little portable record player with me, and the rest was history, man. I was a Prince fan ever since. I went back and bought the For You album after that, and discovered Soft and Wet, because, lyrics were a little mature for a young man my age at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that was, the dream moment. So I think everything I've ever written has just a little bit of Prince in it. And then, so me and Alfonso, I saw that he was throwing the Star Party #1 in Minneapolis in April of that year. Now, I want to say this was probably 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Alfonso, you can correct me in the text if you're wrong. But I think it was 2017. I was part of the Purple fan group, Purple Funk SF, which, was, as I understand, if I believe, he was one of the originators of that group, along with Gigi, if I'm not mistaken. And I saw that he was throwing it, and I hit him up and said, "Hey, man, I'm going to be in Minneapolis. I'd love to come and sing something, at your event." And I sent him a little video, a little snippet of me, singing something from Prince, I'm sure. And, the rest is history. He said, "Yeah, it's like, if you just want to come out, I'd be fun to have you." So, I went out there and just did a track show, did 3 or 4 songs of recreated Prince music that I recreated here in my studio, versions that I, recreated myself, sung all the backgrounds, and went with a kind of a backing track. And I think that night we did God, we did Insatiable, we did Let's Work, and maybe one more. So it's a great bounce because Alfonso, he's so much fun, right? And his parties have so much energy, and the energy level is sky high at a star party or any kind of party that Alfonso is DJing. He's, and I love that about him, and I'm kind of like, so we balance each other out well, because I kind of really capture the more intimate kind of sexy ballad side of what Prince does, so when he does many of his shows, or if I'm doing a show, I want Alfonso there because I need that hype. I want that fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we did Henderson together. We did the Henderson thing together a few times, and brought my band out, the unit. We did the second star party. We were going to do the third one. COVID killed that for the time being. We're hoping that's going to be on for 2022, which hopefully it should be now. Yeah, man. So I've become great friends with him, man. I got so much respect for him, and I just love the energy and the party atmosphere that he brings to any Purple party. So it's like, now it's like, wherever if I book a gig, I'm like, well, we need Alfonso too, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is call Mr. Starr and see if I can talk him in, if he's not booked already, if he can come and be a part of it. So shout out to Alfonso, man.
Yeah,
Deuces.
I don't know how you keep up, because I've had him on the show before, and Alfonso and I are friends. We've met many times. But what's always amazing to me about Alfonso is, even when you're watching his shows, he takes it so seriously. He has tons of costume changes just during a period of a night.
Yes.
So he'll be DJing lots of Prince stuff, and there'll be lots of Prince music playing, and then you'll see him disappear. And sure enough, he'll come out with a cloud suit, or he'll come out it's all different Prince era stuff. And he's got the wigs, he's got the jewelry, he's got the suits, he's got the, it's like he has an entire wardrobe of a Prince wardrobe, and he's always switching things out. And he always throws some of the best parties that. It's just,
absolutely. And like me, he bleeds purple, and it's he doesn't do it to make money. He's not trying to profit off of it. He just does it for the love of the Purple music and getting all of the party people together. If you make money, that's great. That's a plus. Nobody wants to lose money, but all we ever try to do is break even when we get together, so we can just get everybody together and enjoy it. And I like to pay my band well, you know what I mean? So that when I call them, they're going to be available. Right?
And I will tell you something else. Somebody else that always steals the show whenever you guys perform together is your daughter.
My baby.
Okay, because what's her name again?
Mila Kale.
Mila Kale.
It's the Hawaiian translation for miracle. So Mila Kale.
Mila Kale. Okay, the first time I saw her, I want to say it was in Minneapolis. Maybe it was at the Brew House. I think it was. I can't remember. It was one of the ones where everybody was set up along the perimeter, like all the vendors and stuff. Like I think Mary Johnson was there selling her things off to the side. There was a bunch of different vendors, whatever. But your daughter, when she gets on stage, she has this bouncy energy. And it's not just like if I did a show, Jaden might come on, or she refuse to come on the stage. But your daughter just gets up there and she just goes at it. She's engaging with the audience. She's doing all this dancing and all this. She is a show stealer for sure. You're going to have your hands full when she gets into the whole performing and speak. I'll let you speak to her for a second too, but also, I also heard that she was actually featured on Nike's website or Nike's mobile website or something like that.
She was, yeah. Nike Kids. Nike Kids last month. She's got a very successful career in commercials and as a model. She can sing her little butt off, which we haven't really, dove too much into as yet. And so she's also like trying to now grow into acting theatrically. So she's had some fantastic audition. Hasn't landed that one, major thing yet, but she's only 12, bless her heart, so she's got such a future ahead of her, but she's such a smart kid also. When we did our party out here on June the 12th at the Federal in North Hollywood, my baby runs the door. She's 12 years old. She's running the door. She's scanning everybody's tickets. She's like, are you vaxxed? All right, can I see your proof of vaccination, please? Or a negative COVID test, or, so she's checking everybody, man. In Henderson, she was running my table, selling my CDs, selling my gear. She's running the square. She's like, no, Dad, you got to do it. Like she's on it, man. That's my baby. So it's a family affair for sure. Shout out to Monica too, my wife Monica, man. She always is there to support. And I couldn't do it without either one of them.
Yeah, and I know we're running on time, but so I want to make sure that we kind of get this in, and now, because let me see if I can share this, because I do want to share this little thing here. See if I can pull it up. I'm going to share a little bit of a so it's Martin Kember and the unit are obviously going to be playing. I guess this is on November 20th. It's going to be at November 20th, obviously this year, in Washington, D.C. at the Songbird Music House. You're going to be there. It's called the Purple Musicology, and it's going to be a Prince tribute. And it features you, obviously, Unit Man, along with Alfonso is going to be there. Well, Alfonso's going to be there DJing. There's Alfonso doing his thing. Alfonso's just, as you know, he's always all over the place. He's always, he's always there. But there's going to be tickets on sale on Eventbrite, so they can go to your Facebook page. But yeah, that's going to be super, super cool. Tell us a little bit about this event and what people are going to be able to expect to see here in this mix, because this is really, really cool that it's going to be.
Well, I'm bringing my band out, the unit, which features Stacy Lamont Sidnor on drums, who is Layla Hathaway's drummer.
Wow.
Jackson's. He was also on the Puffy Bad Boy reunion tour. Just a fantastic man, one of a great friend of mine, and one of the best drummers you'll ever hear. So he's kind of my MD for this. So I'm bringing the band out, and we're gonna just get it in that night. Alfonso's going to play all the purple funk. And also, we're also going to be joined by a good friend of mine, Renee, who is one of the former Ray Charles Raylettes. And she's going to join me on vocals and sing some backgrounds, and we might do a duet together. We haven't decided which song we're going to sing yet, but she lives in DC. She's a great friend of my wife, so she's going to join us. And there's a couple other surprise guests that we're going to be announcing probably by the end of this week too, that are going to join us. So I think this thing's going to sell out once we make these announcements. So get your tickets now. It's only 200 maximum at this venue. And so I'm super looking forward to that. That's November 20th at the Songbird Music House in DC, 540 Penn Street, and tickets are at Eventbrite. So if you're in the area, the DMV, they call it, right? DC, Maryland, Virginia. Thank you, Alfonso. You hit me to that. And anywhere around, come to DC that night and come hang out and party with us. And we're going to celebrate Prince's music all night long. Another thing I want to tell you guys about too is that I'm so excited and just blessed to be a part of Juan Escovedo's upcoming album called The J. Now, the first video that we did, it blew my mind, because we wrote the song. Well, I didn't write the song. I'm singing the lead on the song. They wrote the song. We shot the video, just kind of a performance video in the studio, which is coming out first part of November. Sheila E. on drums, right? Juan Escovedo on percussion. We're recording this and filming this in Raphael Sadiq's studio, and DeBarge on backgrounds, me singing lead. So it's just like another one of those dream come true moments. So
Oh my gosh.
that song is called My Angel, and that's going to be released the first part of November. And I'll be at Yoshi's in Oakland with Juan Escovedo and his band. And word is Sheila E. may even be in the house that night. So that's at Yoshi's. Those tickets are available also. So look that up on Yoshi's website if you're in the Bay Area. November 8th, we're going to debut a lot of that music there in Oakland at Yoshi's. So I'm super excited about that, man. So much good stuff and good energy going on, all surrounding the Purple world and the Purple family.
Man, well, congrats. I got to tell you, this is really awesome, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on the show and sharing some of these stories, man. I know that a lot of people probably learned a lot about you tonight because a lot of people have seen you in passing. You're pretty active in the Prince world, and especially, doing a lot of these events with Afonso. It's been pretty friggin' awesome. And man, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Martin. And November 20th. purplemusicology.com is where you can find out more information on the tickets if you're interested in going to that show on November 20th. And man, it's been
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, man, it's been an honor, man. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for joining us.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Yeah.
And and hey, I look forward to getting together with you guys in person and celebrating some more Purple music together when we do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, you know what? We should get a bumper from Martin while he's here.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
We have to do it. Yeah, we just just say this is Martin Kember and you're listening to Funkatopia. We'll put it on the radio show, but you can add whatever ad lib you want around it. Just whenever you're ready. We're recording.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Martin Kember and you are listening to Funkatopia. Let's get it, y'all.
Perfect. There you go. See, that's all there is to it. See, everybody thinks it's so hard. It's not hard. Even Jeff can do it.
And thank you guys, man, for doing this show because I really enjoy it. I love the interview with Greg Boyer, and my new name for my best friend is Liquid Chicken now. So, I'm like, what's up, Liquid Chicken? How you doing, man? Shout out to Sean Harris. Shout out to Jeff Gill.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna just give. Yeah, that's what we're gonna start calling you, Jeff. I'll start calling you Liquid Chicken.
What's up, Liquid Chicken?
I mean, why not?
It's better than the Rage, right?
Better than Jive Turkey. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen,
keep doing what you're doing, fellas.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Kember, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much.
My iPad went to sleep. I can't even do the sound effect.
I'll do it.
Martin Kember, everybody. Thank you so much.
Peace
Awesome.
out.
Peace out. All right. So man, that's awesome, man. I learned a lot about him. And
great stuff.
Especially since all these years I've been saying AZ1.
Yeah, I know.
You know why it's so funny that I say it? Because I heard the songs on the radio. I've seen the YouTube. I've seen not on YouTube, but I've seen the videos. But I've never heard their name announced. Like I've never heard the name on the radio and they say that's AZ1. I've never heard that. I just saw the name and I've always thought it was AZ1.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's perfectly okay because I know that every single AZ1 fan that's out there was going, "You're dumb as hell.
You're dumb, man.
I'll never listen to this show again. You're a joke."
You didn't talk about Prince enough.
I'm waiting for that. Where were all the Prince stories we were promised, man?
What happened, man? Just kidding.
Yeah, but it's so awesome to. You know what I love about this show and other shows that kind of interview artists that I'm never even familiar with because there's bands like I have Sirius XM and every now and then I'll put on Volume. I can't remember what the channel is Volume 10 something or whatever on Sirius XM, but they always do random interviews with bands that I'm not even interested in. Like I'm not even interested in the band, but they'll I'm hearing stories about stories from the road or stories about them crossing paths with other famous people and some of the experiences and I love those stories.
Right.
And that's what I love about what we do here is because to kind of keep this torch going for funk and R&B and soul. And it's, that has always been our goal, is to really make sure that if it's in the funk, R&B, and soul arena, we always expand beyond that too, with 80s bands and things like that. Because we've interviewed Wang Chung, we've interviewed Thomas Dolby, but to get artists like that on the show and just tell stories and be able to kind of document those historic moments, and we want to be the go-to place. We want to be the Joe Rogan of music. That's what we want to be. That's our ultimate.
And we will, because not only are they telling us great stories, but they're being so candid about those things that you just like, ooh, I know this is a gray area, but it's coming out. It's like, I love it.
I was getting so concerned when that's the reason why I said that, because he was being like so Danny. Well, there was just a bunch of problems there, and it was just like, okay, they may still do another show.
I know, right?
You want to make sure they can call you. I love your second camera setup, by the way. I love the fact that you've got the Funkatopia Live logo going, which you don't typically see on here. I wish we could integrate some of this stuff, but
somebody's got to do it, right? You know what I'm saying?
I just have to invite you over, and we just got to rework this.
We'll get it reworked. No problem, man. We'll do it.
Well, I need a new board, and I was going to get the Google Pixel 6 Pro, which just went on sale today, by the way. For pre-orders, it just went on sale because I have the Pixel 2 and I wanted to get the Pixel 6. And I've been waiting for it, and they just started pre-orders today, but it's surprisingly, it's not that bad. It's only $8.99, which I thought was going to be way higher than that. But it's like, do I do that, or do I get a new board? And I'm like, I guess I got to get a new board right now.
I think it's board time.
And then wait for the Pixel 6 Pro, because this is pretty freaking important here. All right, so that brings us to the second part of our show, which is the segment called WTF Lyrics, where we're going to be talking about Prince lyrics that are just, bizarre. There's all kinds of different things, but in the movie Purple Rain, the great Billy Sparks has a great line. He says to Prince, "Your songs don't make sense to no one but yourself." and in many cases, that is true.
It is. It is. Now, as we do the show, even though we may not have you guys calling in, we put those comments in there because we want to share this, and we somebody else has something, a lyric that I hadn't thought of or Chris hasn't thought of. We want to address it.
I do actually have the connector. I could technically open up the phone lines.
Oh, sweet.
But I don't know if anybody has. See, a lot of times we open up the phone lines and nobody calls in. So I do actually have a way to open up the phone lines if people wanted to be able to call in and kind of tell stories. But we'll leave it up to the chat room for right now. Before we get into this, though, I do want to make sure that everybody knows that the Funkatopia shirts with the broccoli riding the carrot down the celery stick is available. And I am actually, and my daughter actually is the one, my older daughter, 19-year-old. She is actually the one that did the graphic on this. And she is in the process of working on some other ones. And a lot of the logos that we're going to be doing, a lot of the shirts that we're going to be doing are going to have that more trippier type of, I don't know how to say it. It's more that kind of psychedelic, kind of trippy type of weird. So there's going to be a lot of that stuff coming. It's going to be really fun. So look for some more t-shirts, but just look for Funkatopia on Bonfire, BONFIRE.com, and search for Funkatopia, FUNKATOPIA. And we will start adding them more and more to the collection. I will add a link on the shop.
Make sure you get your shirts.
Yeah. And if you want, let me also say this on the Funkatopia shop as well. There is nothing in the store right now. Just there may be one thing, but there's nothing in the store right now, in our store. T-shirts, hats, jackets, hoodies, bags, nothing in the store with an embroidered Funkatopia logo. There's nothing in the store that is over $30, and it's free shipping. So if you're looking to order something, if you want to up your Funkatopia swag game, everything has been marked down. There's nothing. I don't believe there's anything over $30 in the entire store. I think most hats are like 15 and something, and it's all free shipping. So if you're looking to up your game in the Funkatopia swag department, now is the time to do it, because and that's funkatopia.com/shop. Cammy said, do we have face masks? No, we are sold out of face masks. But it's only free shipping in the United States, unfortunately. Canada, we've got so let's get into this.
Well, let me just mention, man. Let me mention. You said there's nothing over $30, but when we do our calendar, when we do our poses, we might have to up the price a little bit.
Yeah, when Rob and Jeff and I do the bikini shots for
That's
the
right.
2022 calendar, we have to make them extra large.
Okay.
Just because
I get my Brazilian wax for you guys.
They're long,
whatever they call it.
Okay, Brian says gross. I agree. Yeah, but Susie said it's in demand. Susie says naked calendar of you two.
Boom. Done.
Boom. Done. Now, oh yeah, I literally have to see my wife printed out while we're here.
Oh yeah. It's got to be.
It's got to be.
It's probably a personal note saying, "Please."
Oh no, it's
there's too much echo.
I don't even know all this stuff is. Anyways, that's very funny. Angela says, "Dare you?" It's
oh my God! It's divorce papers.
It's not a double dog dare. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about these lyrics before we start losing more people here. So we started talking about Glam Slam, and the first one obviously was Soda Fizzin' on the Lawn. We talked about this, and that is a lyric that I think we know what it means. Brian says, no, he just threw a Coke out on the lawn. We know that's not what it is, because the very next line in that is heavy feather flick a nipple. So we kind of understand there's something going on during this period of time, and Soda Fizzing on the Lawn seems like things are out of order there, but it's okay.
It's still baby scam water ripple.
I mean, Soda Fizzing on the Lawn probably should be like the last thing on the list, but let's just leave it at that.
I mean, it just.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just gonna go with the bottle of Coke and leave it alone. I'm happy with that.
Andre says no Chris or Jeff nudes. That's the first time that Andre has requested for us not to do something.
What?
Somebody said who's Kiara. Chiaria, I think that's probably his name. Chiaria. Soliacolia. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a very, very good one. I will give that to you, Miss Taylor. Soliacolia. That's one that I do not think is on our list.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but some of these things, like, and I think the other one that falls in this list, that falls in the WTF lyrics, would be Hundalicilia. I think Rob said something too. Is like, I was talking with Rob last night, who is not on the show tonight. He's taking the night off. However, he did say, but if you do the show, you have to make sure that Hundalicilia is in the Hundalicilia. Yeah, it's.
Anybody know?
I don't think anybody. I think there's just certain things that he just thought just sounded right because of the way that it flowed with the lyrics. I don't know.
I mean,
Arlene,
hallelujah.
Arlene thought that the reference to Soda Fizzing on the Lawn was a reference to Joni Mitchell's "The Hissing of Summer Lawns."
Okay.
That seems more reasonable than what we're thinking it means.
It really does. I think we'll take that even more.
Yeah,
let's spread that. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about too much more of that. All right, so let's move on from that one. I think you may be on Arlene may be onto something there with that. She thought it was a reference to Joni Mitchell's "The Hissing of Summer Lawns." I don't know. Before I did all this, I also wanted to try to see if I could find some of the definitions of some of these things to try to figure out what they actually meant. Like when I was doing research for the album chat for I can't remember the name of the album, nor can I remember the song, but the line "I won't do it like Kevin." I can't remember the name of the song. Hold on a second. Let me.
Now I gotta look it up.
Let me look it up. Prince lyrics. Do it like Kevin. Hold on. Damned if I do. Damned if I do. Yeah. So the lyric is I'll fill your cup. I won't do it like Kevin. What he's referring to, and I found this out when I was doing the album chat for this album. He's referring, and a lot of people were like, "Who's Kevin?" He's referring to the Kevin Costner movie Waterworld, where they didn't have anything to drink, and so he had to pee. That's what they had to drink, and so that's where that line comes from. So there's some things in there, but there's little things like that you don't know exactly what the meaning behind it is.
Right.
But yeah, if you guys want to listen to the album chat for that, that's actually what album was that off of? Damned if I do. I don't know. I don't remember what song. You can.
I do. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember what album that's off of. But anyways, when I did the album chat for it, I had to look that up. I was like, well, who's Kevin? And then I found that out. There you go. Oh, this is a great one. P-Funk meme. MPG, Shooby-Doo. The answer to the question of life is a gray-haired bitch at least, sucking on the ebony dancer in between these dirty sheets, spitting out the aftertaste of a boy who might not call again. If this is the game you stood in line for, how are you going to win? That line right there, that spitting out the aftertaste of a boy who might not call again. I think we talked about that lyric on like the dirtiest songs.
In the dirtiest. Yeah, I think that came up.
It wasn't even something that was it's not filthy unless you think about it. You're like, oh, why? It's not afterthought, it's aftertaste. But the answer to the question of life is a gray-haired bitch at least. That's a great lyric of like, what does that mean? What exactly does that mean? The answer to the question of life is a gray-haired bitch at least. So you're saying at the minimum, life is like a gray-haired bitch. At its core. At its core, if you're kind of analyzing that line, at its core, the answer to the question of life is a gray-haired bitch at its core.
And then you got to start thinking, okay, a gray-haired, longevity, mean, been around. Yeah.
And then sucking on the ebony dancer in between these dirty sheets. I'm sure he's referencing something. Somebody slept with somebody, and like maybe a dancer in a band or something. I'm pretty sure he's making a really specific reference to somebody,
mm-hmm.
and something that happened with somebody, and he's taking a swipe at that person. Saying, there was a dancer. There was a dancer that this person got involved with, and that person's not going to call again, and you're just spitting out the aftertaste of him, blah 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 blah, and if that's the kind of game that you're playing, how are you going to win? Type of thing. I get everything from there on, but there's a story that he's referring to that we don't know. But that first line, the answer to the question of life is a gray-haired bitch at least.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. It's like kind of what exactly do you mean by that? I've tried to analyze that one before, but I did not add it to this list because I forgot. There's so many lyrics. I mean, there's thousands of songs here, but that was a great one, P-Funk. That's a phenomenal. April, put in "Come a butterfly straight on your skin." She says, I say he's referring to a butterfly vibrator. Come a butterfly straight on your skin. I would say I would probably say that could probably be correct. I don't know. That seems like a pretty good guess.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about vibrators, so I can't. I won't claim it.
You haven't lived, sir.
I won't claim it. I'm just too.
Sorry, I had to get my back scratcher.
I'm too innocent for that.
No, I haven't. I have yet to try.
I'm leaving that alone.
Never mind. Let's moving on. I've never seen plenty. The song "You Make My Sunshine." Actually, you know what? I probably should do. I probably should copy these, and then in StreamYard we have a little bit of a banner, a ticker thing here that we could.
Oh yeah, you can run it across.
Yes, let me run it across, and then we just
Cool.
Let's see here. Let me see. This one. Let's save this one and scroll this. Hold on a second. We got to take April's down here. Hold on a second.
Sorry, April.
Yeah, "You Make My Sunshine." I'll show you what the I in pimp stands for. What does the I stand for? But then he doesn't say. I'll show you what the I in pimp stands for. Okay, tell us. What does it stand for? He doesn't. Is it just I?
I think he was just being
or is there something more to that? It seems like there should be more. What exactly does the I in pimp stand for?
Yeah, there's something missing there.
There's something in there. I would see if I can pull up the surrounding lyrics of that. Let me see if I can pull up the surrounding lyrics to that. Where is that lyric at? I'm trying to find the lyrics to that. Okay. Let me run it down. I keep your paper coming in real steady. Okay, got that. I could tell you what the I in the pimp stands for. If you ready. I assume it's just I. I assume that I is just simply I. It's I.
Yeah, I would assume that.
I in pimp.
Yeah, I am the pimp right now. You know.
I guess so. I mean, you have to think. I mean, but with Prince, you always think, it seems like there's got to be more. I don't know.
There probably is, but I don't think we're going to find it right now.
I don't think. Yeah, Susie just says Prince is the pimp.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel too. And
I would think that would have been it, but anyways, let's go on to the next one, because I don't think anybody really knows that one, so we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, let's
move on. The sun, the moon, and stars make a chippy wanna say, whisper in the belly to me, rock and rose.
Now,
okay.
I'm just thinking, man, the whisper in the belly part.
That will make
about a slow, long stroke, man.
Yeah. There you go.
Man.
What is so the lyric? Make a chippy wanna say. Make a chippy wanna say. I don't
make a chippy wanna say.
The sun, the moon. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Let me see if I can pull up the whole lyrics and say. Let me see if I can find the surrounding lyrics to that and see. I'm glad I put the lyrics in there. Okay. So the line starts, "Do you like I do? Come on. Let's lay down. I'm walking out of what to say." That's an interesting line. I'm walking out of what to say. That kind of lucky rhyme, make a chippy wanna say, whisper in the belly to me, rockin' rosé. Actually, it's not rose, it's rosé. Do You Like I Do, Come On and Dance the Night Away. Whisper in the Belly to Me, Rocking Rosé. Let me start that line over again. That kind of lucky rhyme make a chippy want to say. I don't know.
And
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't make.
Well-
Susie just thinks it's very, very simply intercourse, whisper in the belly. I mean, it seems. It seems like he's. I don't know. It seems like it's. There's something else there, and I don't know what it is. It's like. If I had ever gotten the opportunity to meet Prince, I think this was probably along one of the opportunities that I would have taken, kind of like that scene from New Girl where, we're sitting in the kitchen and I'll go, so let me ask you, you explain to me what make a chippy want to say means?
Now, isn't there a slang version of chippy? Like,
Oh, wait. April says, I think a chippy is the female rosé or female rosé in the wine was oh, so let me do a search for chippy wine. Hold on a second.
well, chippy is the female, rosé is the wine, and chippy also does mean promiscuous woman, prostitute, something like that. That's a slang term. So
is that what that is?
maybe that's where we are.
Okay. I guess we could I guess we could go with that. I mean, that at least this is the whole reason why we're doing this, is hopefully to get some answers on some of these lyrics that just seem kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know. Here is a song that everybody knows, and there's actually two lines in this one that we all know the song. Everybody knows the song. Even my daughter knows the song. This is one of Jaden's favorite songs, and that is a song, Let's Go Crazy. The line, just look for the purple banana till they put us in the truck. Okay, don't know what that is. And also the pills and thrills and daffodils will kill. Okay, we got the pills and thrills will kill, but where's the daffodils coming?
What are the daffodils?
Where the daffodils have to do anything? But just look for the purple banana till they put us in the truck. All right. Just look for okay. Let's just go ahead and just alleviate the pills and thrills and daffodils will kill. I think that he was just trying to find another word that rhymes with pills and thrills, and it just kind of flowed that way, and he wanted to add that mystique in there. So
nah, I think the daffodils is his way of not saying marijuana, the other drugs, plants, something,
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good thought.
That's what I think.
Pills and thrills and daffodils. So instead of saying weed or anything like that, he just some other slang for
just some other way to make it, like you said, make it rhyme.
Right. Well, yeah. So it kind of fit in there. So, all right. So hold on a second. So we'll take that one out, but we still want to kind of assess exactly what we thought of Let's Go Crazy. Just look for the purple banana till they put us in the truck. What is the purple banana? And I'm assuming the truck is like the crazy truck.
Crazy, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of like, they're just kind of just putting you in a. Yeah, it seems like to make the most sense. Because if you're out on the street telling people that you're looking for a purple banana, you probably would be put in a truck. They'd probably wrap you up and put you in a padded room and call it a day.
Right.
I think that's just I could be wrong.
I mean, I don't know. We need to figure it out. Somebody has to know.
Elena says, are daffodils hallucinogenic? I don't know.
Cammy says they're poisonous.
Yeah. So, and Susie said they're poisonous. Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's what Cammy said.
Are we gonna have to? Well, she's a producer, so she's a producer of Funkatopia, so she would probably know if it's hallucinogenic.
Probably look it up.
Susie said, yes, you see a purple banana, you're hallucinating, you need to go to a crazy house.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true, but I mean, so the question is the purple banana actually referencing anything specific, or is he doing like Susie, like you said, is he just saying, hey, some random purple banana, whatever? That's that's the stuck part.
I'm sorry, I went quiet for a second because P Funk put up another one. He put up a lyric that I don't remember in this song. I think he's mishearing the lyric because I do not remember this in a song. P Funk said the lyric from if I shoot, I'm trying to click on it, it's bouncing. If I was your girlfriend, will you let me see naked men? Is that a lyric in the song? I don't remember that being a lyric in the song.
Yeah, it's at the end when he's talking. Will you let me see naked? Oh, naked then, he says.
No,
not
naked men. It's a naked then, not men. That's what it's saying. So would you
right.
let me see naked men? Would you let me give you a bath? So people, it's will you let me see you naked then, not naked men. See that?
Tell us, buy our calendar. Hey man, buy the calendar, buy the Funkatopia calendar.
That's not the lyric, people. It's then, not men.
Hey, this is about revelations, man. This is
apparently we're getting multiple people saying hold on a second, daffodils poisonous. Apparently, yes, listen, this is from poison.org. Poison.org says all parts of the daffodil are toxic. When swallowed, it can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Oh my God. I always just thought they were just, pretty flowers and whatever else. But it says eating the bulb can cause severe irritation of the mouth and stomach upset. These symptoms are usually not life-threatening and resolve within a few hours. But
okay.
I've never known that daffodils are toxic.
I wouldn't have known that.
Never known that. But they don't kill, so Prince is wrong there.
Well, I guess if you eat enough of them.
So all right, let's just go on to the next song, I guess. Which I've got to put.
So I just discovered that, at least I'm trying to confirm it, but there is a purple banana, and it's called a Sao Tome banana, and it's purple.
And they're looking for it.
I don't know. I was looking for hey, put me in the truck.
Yeah, I guess so. You're crazy. You're in the wrong part of the world to look for that purple banana. What is it called again?
The Sao Tome, Saotome.
Sao Tome. All right. Okay.
Puff puff pass, puff puff give.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that you put a bunch on the bottom. You should mix them in. Mix them in while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you put all yours at the bottom.
Hey, I don't know.
Okay, right. Well, I'm gonna scroll down there and grab some of those. But let's move on to the next one. Lady Cab Driver. This one's for Yosemite Sam and the tourists at Disneyland. Now, I will admit, I'm gonna go ahead and admit in public, I'm saying this out loud, that when for many, many years, I still hear it this way to this day when I'm singing the song, that I always thought it said, this one's for Yosemite Sam and the tourist that didn't land. And the reason why I thought that was because I thought he was referring to slaves. I thought he was referring to slaves that were being brought over and then never even made it here. I did all this reasoning and thought process in my head that I was and the tourist that didn't land. But then when I was looking at the lyrics for this Yosemite Sam line, I saw that it was the tourist at Disneyland, which probably makes a little bit more sense. But what is Yosemite Sam? Obviously, that's a cartoon.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna admit, I actually thought it was the tourists in the land. So I didn't have it right either originally for a long time as tourists in the land. My brain just wouldn't accept anything else.
It's like with Erotic City with me, where I always thought that it was thoughts of pretty you and me.
Right.
And I think there was actually somebody said when I said I've always thought it. I always thought it was thoughts of pretty you and me. until I was sitting in a restaurant. It was not even 5 years ago. I was sitting in a restaurant and Erotic City came over the radio and I was like, oh my gosh, they're playing Erotic City. And they bleeped it out. And I was like, why are they bleeping out thoughts?
Right.
And then
What's going
I was
on?
like, why are you bleeping out thoughts? What a weird word to bleep out. And then it dawned on me that it probably had to be another word. And I was just like, wow, this song was very different. Okay, so let's go back. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Because I was gonna refer to one that I was questioning, and it was from Girl 6.
Oh yeah. So should I put it up here for the scroll? Let me.
Oh
let me
yeah, you can throw that one up.
Yeah, one up. Let me. Girl 6. Okay, that's one. Which the first one or
the second part, because the first one, I mean, we can put the whole thing in, but the second part really was what it was.
Okay, let me put it up here so we can scroll it so people can see. We're gonna hide that. Yeah. This is the song "Girl 6," which I'll be honest, I don't know that I know all the lyrics.
Let me pull them up.
We'll see how this saves. Okay, so "Girl 6," go ahead, read it.
So the line, it's what's the end to the way out? And how do we get directions to this ever elusive route? What's the sister doing? Dignity is all she dreams about. Girl 6, doubt. And so the reason I question it is because the whole idea of Girl 6 is the life she's living, like what she's doing. And I'm always thinking, are they talking about her getting out of that life or suicide? Because it's a lot to that.
I always thought that what he was referring, because Girl 6 is a movie about phone sex callers.
Right.
Well, I thought that he was writing a song about the fact that that if she were to go down this path, how do you get directions to get out of that path that you're currently in of doing this phone sex stuff? What exactly are you doing? What's the sister doing? And what she's actually dreaming about is having a job that has some dignity. Dignity is all she dreams about. But she doubts that she can ever get there. Girl 6 in doubt.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I mean, I
kind of explained it out that way. It's kind of boring as hell, but
I like my version better. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it may well be. You may well
but
be.
It could be. In either way, it does make sense. Both ideas. But I look at it and I'm like, I mean, you could. It's a way out.
Right. Exactly.
And this is again going by all the other lyrics. Like you said, it's where are we now and how to get out of this life, and you can't get out of this life. That's how I saw it.
The next one, really, I totally understand what it says, but I think it's funny. And so therefore because we're kind of reflecting on lyrics that are not only that, but they're kind of funny, to be totally honest. And mine is Weak and Funk, which is, I'm testing positive for the funk. I'll gladly pee in anybody's cup. And when your cup overflow, I'm testing positive and I'll pee some more. I don't, what? The way that this is when Prince was inducting Parliament Funkadelic into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Part of what he said is that when they first started working together, George Clinton sent something to Prince and said, I'm sending a song to you. You pee on it, and then you send it back to me, and then I'll pee on it. And I think Maite was standing behind Prince when he was saying this, and Maite was just dying laughing. But this is definitely George Clinton has got a very he's obviously got a very big thing with peeing, because this peeing is in a lot of, this is like, he talks about peeing more than R. Kelly. This is yeah, sorry.
Wow. Wow.
But this is talking about giving somebody a urinalysis for the funk. If you have the funk and you're going to be testing for the
Pee in a
funk,
cup.
yes, that's the whole line. I'm testing positive for the funk. I'll gladly pee in anybody's cup. And when your cup overflows, that's disgusting. But when your cup overflow, I'm testing positive, and I'll pee some more. But the way that they sing it, because you can hear it in your head, it's just the way that they sing it. It doesn't process. You're not processing this line as it reads. Yeah, I'm testing positive. I'm gladly being in anybody's cup. And when you come overflow, I'm testing positive and I'll be some more. You're not even thinking of it like that. It's just you're not thinking about the line like that.
I love your version. We need to remake your version, what you just did.
You're not
Just
thinking
like
about it. It's just you're not thinking about it in that way. It's just
No, you don't at all.
so funny.
At all. In fact, you're running down the street or standing in a crowd and you're singing that song just so like whee.
Oh, I just think that's just so funny. I think because of the fact that the lyric is just so asinine and so insane, and they sing it so seriously and so funky, and it's just like it is what it is. It's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre song. I love it. I've seen 3 comments about my weight on here, and thank you. Just so we're clear, I saw people saying you look like you're really slimming down, blah 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 blah. I'm not blah 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 blah, but thank you so much for the compliments. It's been a really crappy journey, let me tell you. Yes, I am slimming down.
Actually,
I have lost a lot of weight, not unhealthily. I've been doing it through keto. So I know a lot of people have been watching me on video and been like, man, you've slimmed down. Yeah, when I went from a 3XL to a 2XL, and now XLs even feel a little bit I'm just like, this is kind of silly. And I was actually gonna buy a new shirt today. I was like, oh, I saw a really cool shirt. And I was like, I better wait until I'm done with this process.
You've been making a lot of good changes and interesting changes. And you just reminded me of something I needed to do, because you went the contacts, you got rid of the glasses.
Yep.
And the whole reflection thing. And I decided that if you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna go opposite. And I'm gonna put on some glasses. So
there you go. See, Andre will be happy, because Andre was upset when I moved to contacts, because he was just like, I can't read the screen.
Well, see, I'm gonna do this angle, Sandra. You can't read the screen at this angle either. So
Well,
camera 2.
what I'll do then is that I will go back to glasses.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll go back to glasses, and I'll just use the Third Eye Girl glasses. So that way you can see 1, 2, 3 different screens of
I
what
can
we're
see
doing.
everything you got going on now.
Yeah, and what's actually cool is that before, when I had my other glasses, I mean, I couldn't put these over them, but I can still read, and I can actually do the whole, yeah. These glasses, Alfonso gave me these glasses. Matter of fact,
Nice. Those are awesome.
yeah, he does another thing he does at his events is he always gives out something really, really cool, and he actually got some of these, and it was really cool. Yeah.
Here's the one. There's one. Let's go to musicology.
Oh, and by the way, as far as the keto thing is concerned, I have not exercised at all, which makes it even crazier. I've done some walking. I walk in the mall with my daughters or whatever, and I'll do some walking every now and then, but I don't go to the gym. I don't do any of the stuff. So everything that I've lost, which is 30 plus pounds now at this point, has been all just changing what I'm eating. And I'm not talking about eating salads and weird stuff. Keto, you can eat meat, you can eat cheese, there's like tons of stuff that you can butter up. I mean, it's crazy, the stuff that you would think you can't eat. But anyways, just so, because I saw Brian's comment here is like, I got to get my fat ass in shape. A good way to do this is keto is a really good jump start if you want to lose some weight really quickly. Because most of my weight came off in the first month and a half doing it.
Yeah, but you don't even leave out the other benefits. People forget, a lot of sickness and anything that you're going through, it is in the food. It is related to your food. So it's not just,
I
it's
didn't
not just weight loss,
Yeah, Carrie said salads aren't weird. No, you're right. They're not weird. You're right.
No.
All right, let's get back to the show. I don't want to talk about
the show.
myself. Hold on a second. You were on it to do which one did you want to do?
Musicology, Marian kind.
Okay, let me hold on, let me go ahead and copy that and put it up so that we can actually scroll it and of course whenever it's yours, I will let you do the reading. Oops, I gotta hide that one.
Well, it's the Marian kind.
And if you need me to sing any of it, just let me know. I will be more than happy to.
I mean, I'm telling you, I need your voice, your movement and vocals. Marian kind. Hey. I'll sing it. All right. So
they're all the same guy. Missy went on. He's talking about Missy Elliott there, just so we know.
Yeah,
we know that part.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read the lines.
And so that's where it goes. There might be another solar eclipse. She's gonna find bathwater hot enough to be touched. Oh man, pork chop is hurting. I'm gonna put her on the same diet Missy went on. She eat too much.
She eat too much. Yeah, that is a little. I don't think I did not identify this lyric. There might be another solar eclipse. I get that one because she's obviously talking about somebody being big. So it's big enough to block out the sun. That's what I'm getting from that lyric. There might be another. That's what I'm getting from that lyric is that this girl is big enough that she's blocking out the sun with their fat behind. Which that's just the lyric. It says she's gonna find bathwater hot enough to be touched. Oh man, pork chop is hurting. I don't know what the pork chop is hurting. I don't know what that lyric means.
I mean, we can speculate, but
yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those that makes you go, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know what that lyric means.
No,
I get the solar eclipse thing. I think that's what he's referring to. Is that she's so big she blocks out the sun.
But I don't know. I don't know because part of what he says is if you leave her now, you'll never get another glimpse. I'm gonna lace her with enough ice to recap the poles. There might be another solar eclipse. I mean, I don't know if that's about weight.
Well, obviously, ice is probably referring to diamonds. But and then of course, talking about ice at the polar. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot
going on in there.
There's a lot going on in there. Your lyrics don't make sense to no one but yourself.
No one but yourself.
I wish I had that. I tried to find that clip. I desperately tried to find that clip.
Yeah,
it's funny because I think the estate is like on some type of like really hardcore search to scour the internet for anything. Because you know what else? Today is the anniversary of the 41st. Is the 41st anniversary? No, sorry, 31st anniversary of the Times performance of Chocolate and Jerk Out on Saturday Night Live. And
wow.
Even Saturday night, I could find the one from the Arsenio Hall show, but I was trying to find a clip of the one from Saturday Night Live, but because it wasn't the anniversary of that. But even on the SNL website or on the SNL accounts, they don't even have it. So it's been scrubbed off of SNL. It's been scrubbed off of YouTube. But which is weird because why are they being so heavy-handed with
I mean,
that doesn't make any sense. Why they're being so heavy-handed with SNL, but not with Arsenio Hall? Because he's a friend? Because I don't know.
But yeah, that's kind of tough. I see. Brian Davis said he thinks they was getting back at Missy for the Prince impersonator thing in the Work It video. And I read that too. I saw that somewhere, but I just not convinced about that. But I mean, that's a possibility. Prince, again, we know his lyrics, a lot of things he says, he's taking stabs at people and situations pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
Billy Jack bitch. And
yeah, right.
Yes.
And since he made a reference to Missy, what'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, even with some of the like little lyrics that are just kind of like thrown in there. What was it? Des, do you like my band?
Yeah.
Like it just like little swipes and stuff that just happen all through. I mean, I didn't know until I probably not 10 years ago. It wasn't quite that long ago, but I didn't know that. What is a Pop Life? I didn't know that Pop Life was about Morris Day.
Right.
And I had no idea that's what it was. That's who it was about. I just always just liked it as a song, but I did not know that song was about Morris Day and the fact that, you know, because he was having all those problems with drugs and all the stuff that was going on, supposedly, and not supposedly, he admits it in the book, but he was having all those problems with drugs. But I did not know that Pop Life was about him.
I didn't know that for years. It took, you know, a while before I finally saw that and went, oh, wow. Okay.
But, yeah, of course. But I'm also the same guys that thought it was Thought So Pretty, You and Me. Anyways. And I saw somebody make reference to this one. We will go ahead and put it up because we had some people that were talking about this one. So we will
let's do it.
Put this one in the mix, which is from the song Get Off, which is the line. If I can put it up now, something about a little box with a mirror and a tongue inside.
I mean, that's just a total visual. I can't even question it. I just go, okay.
Yeah, somebody kept talking about that lyric. Somebody kept talking about I don't know. It's weird. Something about I think it's just this weird because he always seemed to love. There's certain things that he always referenced. And I think I put this in the lyrics a couple places. There was one part. I don't want to talk about too much, but you know, he gets obsessed with certain numbers. He obviously gets obsessed with, you know, 7 and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he also, from a gadget standpoint, he loved to talk about sex toys quite a bit.
Right.
He's dropped a lot about different sex toys, everything going back from Darling Nikki to whatever.
Yep.
And I think this is just another thing that it's just some weird sex gadget that something
we need to find. Oh, that's not what you were going to say? Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything that a little box with a mirror and a tongue inside can do for me. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. I mean,
you get to watch. That's all I'm saying.
Well, apparently, whatever it is, it got Prince so hot that he knew he could slide. But in this particular case, that's what he said. In this particular case, or maybe it was just the experience that this woman had and just the description of what occurred that got him so hot. But apparently it involves something in a little box with a mirror and a tongue inside. And Elena is referring to, she said, cue up vibrator. The song. Okay. I thought that was a brand name.
Did too.
That's a cue up vibrator. No, she was saying cue up the song. Gotcha.
I thought it was a typo. I thought she said turn on my.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, so we probably could do, but I don't think that would probably be a song that I don't think that probably YouTube would be able to pick that one up for sure. They'd be like,
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, we probably should cue that up. But so do you have any ideas what may what that
What's
song
that?
may be? Do you have any idea what that song may be?
Yeah, no. I really just think it's a toy. Literally, she, you know. I mean, if you want to have something, I can't.
Can I help you? Yes, I was wondering if you had batteries that would fit my. Oh my
thing. Where did you get this?
Look, you got batteries or not?
Oh, sure, we have batteries.
Okay.
You got to get the other one. Come on, what you need?
I know
Hurry
what-
up. I'm talking to you. Please.
Please, I know what you.
Please, I know what you need. Yes. Hurry up, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to use that as my voice from now on. I'm welcome to Funkatopia, please. Shit.
It's kind of like the voice that I use in that "You Want Something" song. I keep getting people asking me every time that song ends up on rotation, which I keep meaning to take it out, but everybody laughs when they hear it. And it was like that voice that you use, that singing voice that you use on that song is hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna just leave it at it's obviously a gadget that it's a little box with a mirror and a tongue inside, and
It's exactly what it sounds like.
yeah, that's
Yep.
Yeah, there's that. All right, so let's do one of yours, shall we? How about the Way Back Home? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. From Artificial Age.
Do you want me to include that last line? Because it sounds like you had some type of
Oh yeah, you can keep it in. I kind of get what the last, yeah, no, you don't need the last one. I kind of get it, but it is, I just think it's strong. Like I'm like, wow. And
right. Yeah, and there's
more to it because
that's a show in itself of lyrics that make you go, wow, that's just I keep on thinking of Arsenio Hall, songs that make you go,
That's something that makes you go,
Sorry, I had to save your lyrics here, but I had to put
Sorry.
it in. All right, so here's the lyric. Go ahead, read it.
Yeah, and it literally starts like that. Any person or object whatsoever that requires your attention is something that has veered from its path and preordained destiny of total enlightenment. And it starts just like that. Like those are the words. And it's like, whoa, that's what?
I can already hear the song starting.
Yeah. And I've heard different things about it where, but I won't. What's your take on that?
Well, and this is kind of I have to fix some of the spelling in here because it's making me nuts. Artificial age and its path and its path is not apostrophe S. And it's just making me nuts just to watch it scroll. It's like watching grammatical errors scroll left and right. It's like drive me nuts. All right. Sorry. Let me fix that. So now I can properly assess it and looking at it in the proper grammatical context.
Let's start over, shall we? That's brilliant.
Well, what's funny? I'll give you this. When the album first came out, when this album first came out, and I was doing a review on it, I did a show. I wasn't an album chat. He had just announced the album, and I was like pronouncing the album title. I didn't get that it was artificial. When I first read it and the announcement was made, I was like, so Prince has got a brand new album that's coming out called Artificial Age. And I like pronounced every single word. And then It didn't dawn on me until like 3 days after I had posted that show that was like, oh, it's artificial. Got it.
I mean,
but okay, so let's look at the lyrics again. Any person or object whatsoever that requires your attention is something that has veered from its path and preordained destiny of total enlightenment. All right, so here's the thing with some of his theology and some of his thoughts, and I'm gonna try to avoid getting a little bit too deep, because there's another song that I reference in our lyrics that we were talking about, the song One Song, which is insane. That song, I'm not going to read all those lyrics because it literally goes on for like 15 minutes, and it's him just talking. I don't know if anybody's ever heard Prince's song called One Song. Look it up, listen to it. It's literally just him talking. There's no music. It's just him talking for the better part of 10 minutes. I don't know how long he talks, but it's like
Somewhere
a long.
around there.
And it's easy to follow for about the first 2 minutes. And then it's just like, I want to keep up, but I feel like I can't because of the way he phrases it or something. And I just have to read it. But one of the things that Prince was really, really big on was the fact that, and he references this in a lot of songs. He references the fact that your future, your destiny, your greatness is in you. It doesn't come from anywhere else. It doesn't come from externally. Now, granted, you might get a hand up. Someone, may, help you along your journey to kind of, go up to the next level. But every single bit of belief in yourself and just your overall being, your greatness that you want to get to is all within your capabilities. And I think there's at least 3 or 4 references to that on the Third Eye Girl album. Maybe the help that you're looking for is at the end of your arm. Those types of little comments and lyrics and stuff that are all littered throughout things, like everything that all your greatness is within your capability. It's just like you want to be great and you want to do this, but it's just kind of like this, my weight loss journey and things like that. It was just like your only limitation is you. You're not getting in shape because you don't want to get up and go to the gym. You're not doing this because you don't want to do this. You don't want to do that, or you can't. You refuse to find time.
Go do it.
Yeah, somebody's like, yeah, just do it. Friggin' do it. It's like some people that are like really inspirational. I find inspiration in really weird things. Like I know we're kind of going down a little bit down a rabbit hole, but I saw Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It was some video that I had seen. I don't remember what I saw, but he was standing in a room with the Oakland Raiders, all of these football players who had worked their whole entire lives to get where they are, to be playing on an NFL football team. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stood in front of that group and said to them, I can appreciate everything that you guys do here, but there's not one of you in here that works as hard as I do. None of you work harder than I do. And that there are at least 70% of those guys in that room get up and kill it every single day. Go out, go to the gym and do all this stuff where they're constantly in training and constantly doing this. And The Rock is standing in front of them and going, you will never outwork me or outdo what I do ever. And that is ballsy. That is like, that's a ballsy thing to say in front of a room full of men who had to work their butts off to get where they are and have to work their butts off to stay where they are. And he's saying, guess what? I do too. So everything that you have, every single bit of greatness, every single bit of inspiration that you need to get where you're going in business, to get where you're going in health, to get where you're going in anything in life that you want to attain, is within your body already. It's within your mind already. It's just a matter of flipping your mindset and saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm done. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it, whatever it is. Freaking do it.
Welcome to Deep Thoughts
by Jack Handy. So I see back to what you're saying with the lyrics here. Any person or object whatsoever that requires your attention. If you're on a journey, if you're on some type of path, and something comes and interferes with your path, it's veered off of that person or object or whatever it is has veered off its own path in order to, they were probably they were doing it by themselves. They were on their preordained path to enlightenment, but they got sidetracked by you, or got sidetracked by what you accomplished, got sidetracked by whatever it was that you were doing, and they stopped what they were doing and is interrupting you. It's kind of getting in your way and try. And so now they're screwing up two things. They're screwing up themselves on their own path, but they're also screwing you up because they're getting in your way on your way. So it's like, that's kind of how I envisioned that lyric. And I know that's really friggin' deep, and it could be way, way off, but it kind of ties in with some of the other things that I had heard.
There's no wrong answer. It actually does lend itself to that, because again, reading it and really thinking about it, it says, with anything or object that requires your attention, saying that if it requires your attention, it's veered, which means everything is in you and it should come naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it just should happen. If it's supposed to be for you, it just happens. That's kind of what that lends itself to. So if you have to give it attention and actually do something to it, it's not right. And that's kind of like, but that's kind of what it says, that's
Right.
where that goes. So it's super deep. It's levels deep. There's a lot going on in that statement.
There's a lot going on, and there was a lot of stuff that he did that was really, really like that. And again, I don't want to get too philosophical and everything, even though we just did. So we'll take a little bit break from the philosophy.
Yeah, let's lighten up.
Because he brought one.
Yeah, there we go.
From Rainbow Children.
Yeah.
A feast, a smorgasbord, at least, a brunch, a munch of cake, if just a piece, not just a vat of chitlins or turkey meat. You see, we are what we eat, so we must eat a leaf. We'll dine under a tree unless it snows. That's actually the whole song. That's technically the whole song. But that is, once again, it's referring to a specific story in the story of there's some story that is about the Jehovah's Witnesses that, and I'm not familiar with their whole their philosophy or their religion, but there's something that involves a feast. There's something that involves some, I don't remember what the story was, but I think that if we were a little bit more well versed in whatever that belief is, I mean, because there's like a bunch of different things that I don't know. This is something specific to Jehovah's Witnesses, and I don't know what it is. It's obviously, it's not specific to it, but it's referring to something that's in the process of getting on the boat. And right. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's one of those areas, and then even if you think about it in the Jehovah's Witness side of things, whether you follow religion, that it's something in the Bible. It's not like it's some random thing they're making up. Anyone's making up either, So it's still, somewhere. But it's a that right there is a pretty interesting. I still don't know what it means though.
Yeah, it's from the Watchtower Online Library. I'm looking up. It's called The Feast to Jehovah, and it's something about it's technically what the Jewish faith refers to as Passover, but it's something that's along those lines. It's like the third and last was a Feast of the Tabernacles.
Right.
There's like a bunch of things about feast and stuff, but if you go to jw.org and you look up feast, you'll be able to find a bunch of information. We're not going to do all that here, but yeah, it's referring to something specific along those lines. But he did it in a quirky kind of humorous way that kind of, it's, it is.
Make a reference without saying it.
But Elena says, no feast in Jehovah's Witnesses. I grew up in it. Well, I'm just looking at what they had. And I think he was referring to that. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they don't.
I'm not talking about feast as part of the general service. I'm talking about the prophecy, right. Not the service itself, Elena. I'm talking about the whole thing with the, it's a thing. Just go to jw.org and look up feast, and they've got a whole entire section. And I'm sure it mentions some things that are referenced in that part of it. Anyways. So there's that.
Go to yours.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I think I actually figured that. I figured that melt with you. It said from the tip of my typhoon to the bottom of your ankle chains and S to the S. and then the next lyric says something that has two S's in it. So I think I figured that one out because he actually does say what the S's stand for. So I don't have to put that one up. But for Moonbeam Levels,
Moonbeam levels.
send that's I gotta have that one again. Please send all your Moonbeam levels to me. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Please send all your Moonbeam levels to me. I tried to look up Moonbeam levels. I think it just kept referring to the Prince song, and I seemed like I saw somebody on Prince.org that was trying to explain something about
they got annoyed.
some type of energy that comes off of the moon or whatever. I think they were guessing. Right. But yeah, it's the whole, I don't know. I have no idea what Moonbeam levels is referring to, but yeah, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe somebody can enlighten it even further, because I saw that too. That person was very adamant, like, you're not listening to me. But I mean, why?
I put up the link to the Jehovah's Witness website page that I was just looking at. If you guys want to look at it, I don't know if that's clickable or not for you guys, but if you want to go down that rabbit hole just to learn what he meant by that 35-second song, I'm pretty sure there's something in there that refers to that. So I don't know what Moonbeam levels is. It's, I don't know.
I can't even pretend.
I can't either. Let's do yours. The good love from Bright Lights Big City. You want to do that one?
Yeah, go for it.
Bright
Lights Big. It's from the Bright Lights Big City soundtrack. Good love.
Yeah. So let's see if the lyrics are gonna go ahead. That's how.
So that's how I like it. Come on, Technicolor junkie in a funky square. Good love talking when you're kissing me there. Gustav Mahler jamming on the box. Teenage junkie got his foot on the rock. Get off. You got to get good love.
I think the teenage junkie got his foot on the rocks is pretty obvious because he's always been obsessed with people being on crack cocaine and all that stuff. So I think, and he's telling them to get off that. I think that part may make sense. But how the Gustav Mahler jamming on the box, that's
funny because Gustav Mahler, is a composer,
right,
from so far back, like
way back,
but great stuff, classical.
he was born in 1860.
Yeah, I think he died in 1911.
Gustav Mahler was an Austro-Bohemian. I don't even know what the hell that means. Gustav Mahler was an Austro-Bohemian romantic composer and one of the leading conductors of his generation. As a composer, he acted as a bridge between the 19th century Austro-German tradition and the modernism of the early 20th century. But there it's Symphony Number 5, Symphony Number 1, Symphony blah 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 blah. I don't know hold on a second. Let me see if I can. If this, I have to. Let me see if I can unmute this. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to play a little clip from YouTube, but it's got videos on here. Hold on a second.
Oh, gotcha.
Hold on a second. So this is Gustav Mahler jamming on the box. And this is some of the best of. They started out with his biggest hit, I guess.
Wow! Did you just?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I don't really. I don't think any of that's jamming. But
well, that's the point. Like, what is this all about?
Music, yeah.
Yeah, and then the fact that in the lyrics in this one, he says Technicolor junk in a funky square, but earlier in the song he says Technicolor children in Piccadilly Square. So he refers back. He says Gustav Mahler again. Another glass to you, this time on the rocks. You know what I'm saying? So he refers to it earlier, slightly different, and then it changes completely. So, yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Okay, April is telling us about the mirror with the tongue inside.
Oh,
She actually has a background story to this. So,
awesome.
so the background story that she has says it's a line that Prince took from Robin Powers. She said the song is about her sex life. Told Prince her mother kept a mirror with a gun and drugs on it next to her bed, and Prince changed the story to a box with a mirror and a tongue inside. She said, we should have her on the show. Yeah, I guess Michael Dean has done an interview with her. So, yeah, that's
Okay.
all right. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been known to change stuff. I mean, he changed Susanna's Starfish and Coffee,
Right.
because it used to be Starfish and Pee-Pee. And he changed it to Starfish and Coffee, which is probably a better version.
Could be more pee in the cup.
And he took a story from Robin Powers that was about drugs and death and turned it into something very sexual. Yeah, but going back to your thing, the Technicolor junkie in a funky square. Good love talking when you kiss me there. I get that. I don't understand the Gustav Mahler reference, jamming on the box.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got me, man. You got me.
And April said that as far as moving levels is according to the Torre book, well, then it's already not factual.
Wow.
Sorry. All right, we'll put it back up there. According to the Torre book, according to the National Enquirer, Susan Rogers describes Prince's hallucinations as moonbeam levels. Torre may be the nicest guy in the world, but after having not one but two books in a row that have been filled with a bunch of hearsay and rumors and things that are being said without any factual background and proof, or any type of verification or confirmation of anything, some of the things that he was saying, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm sorry, he may be the nicest guy in the world, but I as a protector of all things Prince, it's like really.
Don't hold back, Chris.
I'll just go ahead and just burn that bridge. I'm perfectly fine. I will burn that bridge, and I will wear that cross, or bear that cross. And his last book was very, I was kind of annoyed. Sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just go ahead and just say my piece. All right, it's been said. Yeah, there is some stuff in there, obviously, that Torre is familiar with because Torre and Prince were friends. But I just.
All right.
Let's go down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
Sound like that hurt, man. That hurt a little bit.
It did. It hurts my soul. Torre's books hurt my soul.
There's a chord in there.
Let's take it another level. Torre's books hurt my soul.
Your books hurt my soul. Yeah.
Is Jaden coming and say goodnight? Yes, they hurt my soul.
And,
it's just I've welcomed him on the show. I said, I've sent him, I've reached out to him and I said, you can come on the show. I will be as diplomatic as I possibly can. But you're going to have to speak to some of the things that were said so that I can make peace with it myself, because, again, to be spouting things off that were not ever proven or given any type of credence or fact is just
yep,
pretty shitty. It just is what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's that. Sorry, Torre. Are you coming?
Nah, don't be sorry.
Are you
That's how
still?
feel.
Are you still coming on the show next week?
I know.
Yeah, I don't have my sound effects now, but that would have been a perfect game show sound effect for sure.
That is the best.
It's okay. It's all right. I don't, it is. I'm sorry. There's some people that agree with me, and I'm sure that there's some people that do not agree with me, because some people really like Touré. Some people really like, and I like him. I don't have any problem with him as a person, but as far as his literature is concerned, not a fan. That's the reason why I'm such a fan of Dwayne Two Dolls, because everything is documented. Everything is like, this happened. Here it is. Here's a picture of when it happened. Here is this person that said this on this and this magazine and this publication, and this is where you find it, and blah, 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 blah. And it's not, it's facts. It's facts.
Right. And if you're going to claim something's a fact, you should be able to back it up with some documentation.
Back it up, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
If not,
absolutely.
Back it up. Back it up that way.
Back it up.
We're talking. Yeah, I only have a couple. I only have a few more.
Well, let's.
Which is actually good. Want to do yellow? I'll do yellow, and then we'll do one of yours here.
Let's do it.
How many years do we have? How many years left? Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're doing yellow. The song Yellow, and it refers to yellow's a happening color if you're a banana, counting the days until you're a prune, but blue's a better color if you're looking for a lover to show your pretty colors to.
Just
Okay. Okay, I get it. Yellow's a happening color if you're a banana. I do seem to recall there was a huge yellow period for Prince. Counting the days until you're a prune. Bananas don't become prunes. Plums become prunes. Maybe that's what he's referring to, because plums are purple plum. I don't know if this is referring to something in his life or something.
what about race? Because
yellow's a happening color if you're a banana, counting the days until you're a prune. Blue's a better color if you're looking for a lover. I guess if you're sad, it's more, I don't know, to show your pretty colors to. I don't know. This is another one of those that is like, I wish that I had. I honestly wish I had that clip, that Purple Rain clip.
Well, I'll tell you, when I first heard that, and the age, my age at least, when I heard yellow's a happening color if you're a banana, to me, I immediately thought of race, because I was called yellow. And so to me, that was just one of those, like
it talks about purple, and then it talks about blue.
Yeah, well, counting the days until you're a prune, getting old, or things like that.
Elena said, plums are young, prune, old people.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know for sure.
April says, did you ask Dwayne about Torre? Yes, actually, Dwayne and I did have a conversation about Torre's book. We did, and I am not at liberty to tell you what he said.
Why are you trying to open old wounds? Why is she pouring
I'm
salt?
not trying to open old wounds. I'm just telling you. I'm not sharing what he said. That's between Dwayne and myself, but yes, we've had conversations. P Funk's got another one here. Would you rather be dead or be sold? Sold to the one who can now mate the displaced bloodline with the white jailbait. Thinking like the keys on Princess Piano will be just fine.
Another video right there.
Great. Would you rather be dead or be sold? Okay, we understand that line because he's made plenty of references to that. Sold to the one who can now mate the displaced bloodline with the white jail bait. Sold to the one who can now mate. Obviously, we know what that means. The displaced bloodline. Who is the displaced bloodline?
Well, there's been a lot of different suggestions on that, but when you're talking about slavery, I mean,
Somebody's asking what this is from Muse to the Pharaoh. If she
yeah.
could be Muse to the Pharaoh. And that's that line in the end where he's kind of scatting. Would you rather be dead or be sold to the one who can now mate the displaced bloodline with the white shell bait, thinking that the keys on Princess Piano would be just fine. That's from Muse to the Pharaoh. It's a great. I knew that whole thing. I even had a vision in my head during the race. I had this thing memorized probably the first week that Rainbow Children came out, and I went to the show and the after party. And I had this memorized, and I was just like, I hope that Prince calls me on stage. I would love to do this song and do that whole ending. It would be great.
Welcome to
He'd be like,
Funkatopia.
oh my God, you memorized the lyrics to that new song that I just released a week ago. But yeah, so
I just
so sold to the one. I think he's obviously referring to would you rather be dead or be sold? Now, is he talking about the music industry a little bit too? Because I know that he's talking about the fact. I know he always talks about the fact that he felt like white artists, obviously, and rock and roll in general, is really a bastardized version of jazz and just black music in general. It's like always just kind of like a little bit of a different version. So is he talking about specifically slavery being sold like as a person, as an individual, or is he referring to the music industry here where he's talking about sold to the one who can now mate the displaced bloodline with the white jailbait? Like talking about the fact that now you're going to be in the music industry to release records that are going to be a result of, music that came at the hands of I don't know.
I think it is slavery, but I think there's a double meaning in there.
Double bubble meaning.
Double bubble. But it leads itself to slavery, of course, because just before that he does mention the Holocaust aside, many people lived and died, but when the truth is told, would you rather be dead or be sold? So I mean, it doesn't seem like he's demeaning the Holocaust, but he's saying, we get that too, but let's just think of the whole situation. So I think there's a dual meaning in there, like you said. It could be, there's a lot going on in that also.
Yeah, and also in the last line, thinking like the keys on Prince's piano will be just fine. Obviously, there's black and white keys on the piano, so
right.
To be thinking like the keys on a piano will be just fine because it all works harmoniously together. I that line is kind of makes sense, but yeah, there's some double entendre going on in that one.
Absolutely.
Sure. P-Funk's been coming with it tonight, man. I'm telling you, man, he's definitely come with it. P-Funk, send me an email to funkatopia@gmail.com. Funkatopia. Send me an email to that address with your mailing address. I'll send you some Funkatopia swag. Do some swag for being such an awesome contributor tonight.
Swag.
He's been killing it tonight.
I know, right?
You have you only have one more.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I do want to address that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only one you have left, though. Is that one, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm good.
And then I have one more after that too. So, okay, we have the last couple more. I keep clicking the wrong button. We're trying to separate this out. I'm taking out your comment here. And this is from the song. What song is this from?
Screams of Passion, Family.
Screams of Passion by the Family. Here is the lyrics of that one.
Yes. Curtains dance a minuet. Autumn plays the music, baby. Come on, hold my hand. Leaves are falling, velvet splash. Only you can understand. My whole thing about it is this whole song is painting pictures everywhere. So I'm like seeing this and seeing that, but leaves are falling, velvet splash. I just haven't.
Leaves are falling. Okay, so is it leaves falling in water? But what would the velvet part of it be? Or maybe the water is so sheen that it looks like velvet.
Maybe it looks like velvet
falling into the water. Because the video is done while they're standing in water. I think if I remember correctly, the video, they're all standing on a beach or standing and there's like waves rushing in.
Yeah.
Autumn plays the music. Yeah, autumn, and that would be When Leaves Fall is in autumn. Trying to put it all together for you.
Hey.
I don't know that's the curtains dance the minuet, which obviously if it's fall, it's always windy in the fall. Autumn plays music with the lead because they're also, if they open up the windows, like my office window is open right now, but you can hear the leaves and stuff blowing in the air because it's like that crisp, Yeah,
the picture's painted. I just can't get the leaves are falling piece. Velvet splash.
Yeah, I don't know.
You might be right. Maybe it's the hitting the water.
Because that's the only thing that splashes. I mean, it splashes was water. I mean, unless it's. I mean, but velvet doesn't necessarily. It doesn't refer to a color. It refers to a look or a feel, right? Or
right.
I don't know. That's a good. I don't know.
If I can find it, I want to recreate it because
Sanders going sexual said orgasm. Sanders says that velvet probably refers to the
yeah
yeah
the velvet splash.
Yeah,
but the leaves are falling then because he's not shaving her. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it.
PFON wants the email address is funkatopia@gmail.com. FUNKATOPIA@gmail.com. Get you hooked up. Yeah, that's a good one though. I don't think I would have picked out that lyric because there's always like something, like every single song. I don't think there's any song outside of instrumentals. I don't think there's any songs that Prince did where there's not at least one line or one little weird thing that's in there. You're like, what now? What's that?
Right.
But we only got like 5 minutes left in the show, so so let's get to, I guess, the one last one that I have here, which is that, well, I actually have this one here that where I was referring to the fact that he was obsessed with the 700 billion in Welcome to America. It's like where you can get fired, rehired, and still get a $700 billion tip.
Yeah.
And then an Old School Company, he also references it again. Fat cats on Wall Street, they get a bailout. While somebody else got to wait 700 billion, but my old neighborhood ain't nothing changed but the date. Basically, I was trying to figure out because I kept hearing 700 billion, and I think there's one more song where he says that too. Old School Company, Welcome to America, and there's another song he says that too. But I looked it up because I was like, what is he referring to? Because he keeps it's real specific, and I thought, well, maybe it's 7 because he's so obsessed with 7. But apparently, in 2008, which I'm sure it happened, I wasn't paying attention, but in 2008, Wall Street got a $700 billion bailout.
Right. Right.
So, and then when I read that, I remembered it, but I didn't remember the number.
Yeah. Wow. Right.
So in 2008, Wall Street basically was handed $700 billion from the government in order to, to fix their mess.
The government handed it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but again, it's so he keeps referring to all these things, but they're getting 700 billion, but in his old neighborhood, nothing's changed but the date. And yeah, that's there's still a lot to be said. There's a lot of money that's kind of going down the rails. But the other one I'm going to put up, I'm not actually, I can't really put this up because it's so friggin' long.
It is long.
It is long, but the song is called One Song by Prince. And
Check it out.
yeah, you definitely have to check the song out, but it's basically 1999 and the illusion continues. One begs to ask, when will it end? Unnatural disasters happen seemingly every week. Train crashes, shootings, nuclear accidents. Is there any place of refuge one can flee from this insanity? So far you're following along. I get that. And then it starts going a little bit haywire after this, talking about, very few of mankind's creations are designed to make you feel good unless you get pleasure from seeing the human body desecrated by guns, explosions, and fights, and any other things these so-called artists create in the name of freedom. Many have used art as a means to destroy the human mind. And then he just starts spiraling from here, where he takes it into religion, and in man's decision to further separate from God, his recreation of himself leaves him in a dysfunctional state of confusion. The mind becomes a burial ground for dead waste, isolated from the wholeness of God and his fellow brothers and sisters. And he just goes on and on and on. You really have to be able to read this song lyrically and then spend some quiet time with it, I think.
Yeah.
But I will put up the lyrics that I found, which is genius.com/prince-1-song-lyrics. So basically Prince one song lyrics with a dash in between each one, but it's genius, like smart, genius.com/prince-1-song-lyrics, but with a dash in between each word. And you can kind of read it, and it's just this long. It was like, I was trying to envision exactly the process that Prince went through writing this song, because it's so weird. It's very, and it's unlike anything that I'd heard him do before. You don't normally when you hear him talking, he is normally talking on, normally when he's talking, there's always music behind it or some type of weird sound effects or whatever.
1999, and the illusion continues. One begs to ask, when will it end? Unnatural disasters
and this keeps on going on and on. Now, if you love to hear Prince talk, this is your song.
Yeah, for sure.
This is your song, because it is him on a microphone with echo behind him, a little bit of reverb, and that's it. There's no music. It's just him talking for, God, I want to say, the song itself, one song, is 8 minutes and 49 seconds long, and about 5 minutes of that is him just talking. Talking, nothing else, just him just talking. So yeah, if you like to hear his voice, that's definitely a song to
and what he's saying, as you read it, you'll see how deep it is. I mean, it's you will think, it will make you process something. You guaranteed not to read that and walk away like nothing happened. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I just put the Funkatopia Live video back in, brand back up here. I'm wondering if I can put that Funkatopia logo, the one that you have behind you right now, the one that I actually created with all the electricity and everything. I would love to put that up in the upper right-hand corner. That would be awesome. But I think whenever I have multiple people on the show, it always ends up covering up somebody. So I had to take it down. Yeah, Rodney goes, I remember when one song was released online. It's got a bunch of diatribe on it. It's really weird, but it's very, very cool. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun tonight. We had a great time talking about Prince's crazy lyrics. There's probably tons more. We're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna be taking next week off or not. We got a couple things working. We may be here, we may not be here. But just to kind of recap some other things too, we had. Thank you so much to Mr. Martin Kember, who joined us, the talented Martin Kember.
Absolutely.
From As One, not AZ1, but As One, and Color Me Bad. And he's
just a fireball of energy. He was just
yeah. And on top of that, they're going to be doing Martin Kember, who's does amazing work as far as doing some Prince tributes and stuff. They're going to be doing a Prince tribute in Washington D.C. with the amazing, super talented, energetic ball of energy Alfonso Starr. So Alfonso Starr and Martin Kember and some special guests that he has playing in his band and that are going to be making appearances and whatnot. Again, that's in Washington, D.C. on November 20th. And you definitely want to be there for that. If you can get tickets at purplemusicology.com. So you can check that out. Also, for those who are in the Atlanta area or somewhere near the Atlanta area or driving distance from the Atlanta area, please make sure, we cannot make the official announcement yet. Everything's pretty much done. But we can't make the official announcement yet until agreements have actually gone back and forth. But please mark off Thursday, November 11th, which is, again, that's a Thursday, November 11th. So we got 2 shows coming up here, but that's going to be here in Atlanta. And it's going to be yours truly. I will be DJing, doing some really cool Prince stuff. But that I am, yeah. And I am not the focus of the evening. The focus of the evening is the beautiful and talented Ashley Tamar Davis. Many of you remember her from the 3121 era. She did a tour in 2006 with Prince, where she was on tour and Prince was playing guitar for her on that tour. It was a Tamar tour that came. I was lucky enough to see that. That was a really cool show. But she also is the voice on Beautiful, Loved, and Blessed. But she's got her own. Has a brand new album that just came out like not even a couple months ago, which is fantastic. You need to pick it up. And of course, Prince wrote a lot of her music. She's got a lot of music that she released on Milk and Honey, a bunch of songs written by Prince. She's very, very, very much part of Prince's universe for sure. And she's going to be there on November 11th with me. We're going to be doing a really fun thing. And so please mark off Thursday, November 11th on your calendar. If you're in or around or within driving distance of Atlanta, you need to come for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a very, very purple night. There's going to be a lot of Prince music played. We're going to be showcasing Tamar's music as well. And we got some really, really fun stuff. So please make sure that you're in or around Atlanta on November 11th. And I will send you more details. I'll post more details as they come available. What else was there? I think that was the 2 major announcements that we had on events. And man, it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Martin Kember, for appearing tonight. Thank you to my co-host, Jeff Page, who is always, yeah, man. And Rob Rhythm was not able to be with us tonight, but he will probably be back in the mix. But man, it's a fun show, man. Thank you guys all. No.
Great lyrics. Somebody mentioned that we need to do a Strange Lyrics Part 2, so it's already been requested.
Yeah, I think we can probably get deep. So Linda wanted to know the link to the store. I guess we can put that up too. If you go to, because I also mentioned that you can buy Funkatopia swag. There's nothing in the store that's over $30. There may be like one random thing that's over there, but nothing in the store is over $30, and it's all embroidered stuff, and everything is on sale. Everything's been slashed, and everything gets free shipping. Of course, that's just for continental US, because it's so expensive to send stuff anywhere else outside of the US. But there's nothing in there. I mean, most hats and shirts are like $15 or $20, but that's it. There's no shipping involved. You're not going to get hit with a bunch of taxes or anything else. All that stuff is included. So please make sure that you get your swag from the store, funkatopia.com/shop. It's important that you go get it, because once it's gone, because we are talking about doing some really cool stuff. Revamping some stuff. So you may going to get some collector's edition stuff. Also, these shirts right here, like the shirt that I'm wearing, you heard the commercial. It's funkier than a piece of broccoli riding down a carrot down a celery stick. We actually turned that into an actual physical shirt on Bonfire. If you go to bonfire.com, bonfire.com, and you search for Funkatopia, that's Funkatopia. Please make sure that you you order that too, because I actually got the jersey with the green sleeves to kind of match it. But we've got some more designs that are coming, some really crazy looking designs. We got a mushroom design where it says Funkatopia on the underside of the mushroom. It's really cool. We've got like a Day of the Dead type of skull with the designs and everything with Funkatopia. There's like a lot of funky, really, really bizarre cool designs that are coming, and we're also looking for ways to reduce the cost for you guys too on some of this stuff, because we know that some of these one-off shirt places are not always cheap, but it's cool because they're limited edition stuff, and I get it. But if you're looking to save money, Funkatopia.com/shop is where you need to go, because everything in that store is on sale right now, and everything is free shipping, so you gotta get it. Elena said, "I'm making it a personal goal of mine to win some Funkatopia gear." That's a great goal.
That's a great goal.
I mean, send me your address, Elena. I'll send you a little something. It might not be necessarily swag, but I'll at least send you a Funkatopia sticker so you can get your journey started.
Boom, there it is.
Steps there you go. Funkatopia@gmail.com. Alina, send me your information and I will send you something. Anyways, good night, everybody. It's been a fun time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for putting that. It's Funkatopia.com/shop, not sale. I see that up. Rodney says we need to catch up. Yes, we do, brother. I absolutely want to catch up with you. Last time I saw you was in Minneapolis, and I look forward to it at the candlelight tribute that Funkatopia did up there on the anniversary of his passing. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yes. Andre, I sent you some stuff, but you haven't even confirmed that you got the stuff I sent to you, even though I had confirmed that you got it. But
it's just messed up.
Andre, I'm not sending you anything else until you prove that you got what I sent you. And actually,
he gets it. He's like, nope, didn't get that either.
Yeah, it was, and he didn't even pay for it. I sent it to him for free because he's so active, and Andre just he plugs Funkatopia hard, and so I sent it to him. Sandra says I still owe you merch. Sandra, send me an email. I refresh my memory. I don't know what I'm missing.
I
don't like owing people anything, so I dropped the ball, Sandra. So send me an email and let me know what I forgot. Funkatopia@gmail.com. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful night. And we'll maybe see you next week. We'll see what happens. But for
good night, everybody. See you later.
I guess I got to switch the audio and make sure that music is playing and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I think you should prep it.
Who cares? Let's. What should we start off with? I have a bunch of songs on here. This is a good one. All right, good night, everyone.
Yeah, sorry, switching the audio out. Good night.
Later.